Belly Up, which we all went to watch. But
Yeah.
somebody else ran there 1 hour before they filmed too. Neil Brennan, Pete Lee. Anyway, so Orny did that last week. It was awesome to get Orny down here. I've been trying to get him for 6 years to do with the old club, and finally got him to come down. He's a great guy, very
that's
funny,
awesome.
super nice guy. So anyway, we do the open mic portion. It's kind of a taking a mosh of 3 things that are popular: the Kill Tony stuff, the NFL game. Which, by the way, we have Joe Flacco playing quarterback. We have quarterbacks that are almost my age right now. Joe Flacco for the Bengals just got traded last week. Is playing quarterback against Aaron Rodgers for the Steelers, who's like 64 years old, I believe. 64.
White boy crazy.
Right now, there's 10 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Steelers are up 7-0. And the Bengals have the ball. What's crazy about the NFL is how does the quarterback just switch teams and then the plays? Do they change the plays? They keep their same plays?
Yeah, they have to be like a scholar.
In 1 week.
They retain. Yeah.
In 1 week, those guys have like 500 plays.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of sign language when you get there. Like, just fucking run, dude.
Yeah,
The first couple of weeks.
It's like kids playground football. You're like, you go like this way.
Well, I feel like the first week the quarterback's there, they probably just are like, here, we're going to run 4 plays this game. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I could roll.
That's what we did in high school. We got a new quarterback who's just way better than our quarterback, and we're like, we got 3 plays.
Yeah.
We run these 3, and we just ran 3 plays the whole next
If you
game.
master a small amount of plays, it's here we go, sack, Joe Flacco. Oh my God, he fell down. His old man hard candies fell out of his pocket. He's so old, old. You don't know that. You're young. How old are you now,
idea.
Austin?
I'm 31.
31. Austin's 31. How long have you been doing comedy?
4 years.
4 years, Austin.
Yeah, 4.5 almost, actually.
He admittedly, I said it's kind of a sports podcast, sort of this, that. I explained it to him. And he said, I don't know much about sports, but you did play college basketball, junior
I played college basketball. I played football and baseball. I just don't know these guys playing sports.
Yeah.
I know the rules and how to do it.
You're just
I don't
not
know
up to date on like the players nowadays.
Yeah, I watched quite a bit in college, but I'm just busy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son knows more than me. He just turned 18. He's a senior in high school.
He's pretty big in football, right?
Yeah, he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
And he knows like every play. Like I know Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers, but when we do the draft, I mean, I literally like, who is that? What position? What team?
Yeah.
Because I'm not into it. I mean, I watch a lot, but I don't know all the players. He knows everybody. He laughs at me if I don't know who.
It's crazy how much some people – I have friends that are genuinely some of the dumbest people I've ever met. And then you start talking sports, and it's like, dude, your IQ's through the roof. You're wasting it.
Yeah, they're just doing fantasy football.
They know their weight. They know their vertical.
Yeah.
They know everything about these players.
My buddy's in like 10 leagues. Same thing.
Yeah.
He's like, did you see that? Yeah, I'm like looking at him like, the only thing less interesting than my own fantasy football team is your fantasy. I don't want to hear about your team. He wants to talk about his fantasy football team. Like, dude, I don't give a shit about my own. I don't want to hear about yours. It's like, no, thank you.
You play fantasy?
I'm in one league with softball guy. I have a softball game tonight. This is actually I thought this is my jersey.
Oh, you're playing softball.
I have a game. I'm going to leave. Louis Centani's supposed to be here. He's hit traffic. He's running late.
Yeah, traffic sucks.
And so I have a softball game literally at Kit Carson Park right here at 6:45. So I might either leave and then have Louis close it out or whatever. But he'll be here in a little bit. We'll put him up. So back to sports. You played junior college basketball?
Played junior college basketball.
Some of your best jokes on stage are about junior college and stuff.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I liked you right away years ago when you first started doing the club.
Yeah, community college is fucking nuts, dude. The whole experience is crazy. You show up and it just feels like you're at the trailer park. Maybe it's just it might have just been my town.
Well, that's the community, buddy.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
representative. It's representative of the community.
You're not in the All-Stars. This is just the community.
Yeah. Now you have some funny jokes
played
about
there,
that.
and then I went to go play walk-on at Eastern Washington University, and I ended up just not – because you're doing it for free and you're working. I was like,
would they have taken you though? Would you made the team?
Yeah, walk on, but I wanted to be drunk.
Yeah.
I wanted to drink. Yeah.
There's a certain point in your life you're like, chicks and beer is more fun than that, unless you're getting like a scholarship.
Well, and it was a conscious choice. It wasn't like drinking. I was just like, I don't want to be doing this for free and not to play in the game. You know?
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and I didn't play for 2 years. I played a lot, like intramurals and stuff. Intramural national champion right here.
Intramural national champion.
And then, but I ended up going to Germany to have a professional tryout there and got on a team, and then they didn't want to pay me either. So
really?
I had to come back. Yeah.
It's professional, but they don't want to pay you.
Well, the leagues over there are crazy. Like some months they just don't have money.
Yeah.
And I talked to them. They're like, yeah, you just got to tough it out. And I was like, I have $0. And so I had to like fundraise with my family to get back home. It sucked.
That's where I'm at now with my kids. So we haven't had any offers yet. So it's his senior year. So, like, if he goes really balls out, he threw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns last week. So if he keeps doing that, then maybe we'll get some. But if not, we're starting to look at, like, all right, well, if you wanted to play here, you'd be a preferred walk-on. We might have to pay for school, but at least you're playing, you're.
Well, and it gives you something to work because it's like you start as a preferred walk-on, but he was starting as a I was starting as a junior as a walk-on, so I had 1 year to earn it. But he has 3 years to earn some money.
So we'll see. We're sort of at that. A lot of the D2 schools start trying to go after players in like January, I guess. They wait for all the D1s. So I'm like, dude, I don't want to pay for college. Play anywhere.
And D2
get some money.
Sick. It's the same. You're in your own little. I was dumb as rocks. I was genuinely so.
What do you mean was?
Yeah.
Roasting. My only guest. I only got one guest, and I'm making fun of him.
If I leave, you're done, dude. You're gonna have to
You're like,
crowd work
fuck
the
this.
kid
Boom.
over there.
Fucking, I'm like, all right, by myself. Now I'm Bill Burr doing my own podcast by myself, talking
ranting
to myself, by myself.
Yeah, no, because I had a couple offers that just weren't at the level of school I wanted to play at out of high school, and I was like, oh, I'll go to junior college, and then I'll play at like Duke after that. That's obviously what's gonna happen.
You're like, I'm white, I'm good looking, I'll play at Duke.
Yeah, I was like, I'll get on, dude. It'll be a cakewalk, and then play junior college, and now you're 20, and it's the same nothings looking at you.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Super cool though. I mean, even play any college sports.
It's fun.
The one time I was going to San Diego State. And I already had taken basketball class. You can take it like 2 or 3 times to get gym time, right? Because instead of playing outside every day, we played like 3-4 days a week. Yeah. So I went to Mesa College and was taking like a Tuesday night basketball class just to get gym time. They had good games. And about 3 classes in, I'm probably 21 years old, 22 maybe even. And some coach comes up to me and goes, hey, man. He goes, you know what you're doing out there? You ever thought about playing some college basketball here at Mesa College?
Dude, they recruit like crazy.
I went like this. I went like, oh, yeah? And I was like, yeah. I go, well, I go to San Diego State. I'm like 21, 22 years old. Yeah. He's like, oh, forget it. And then he just walked away. Yeah. I'm like, he thought I was like an 18-year-old.
No, they tried to recruit. We had like 29-year-olds from Egypt. I'm serious.
But technically, I was offered to play college basketball, guys. So you and I are the same.
Yo, yeah, 100. We are. It's the same thing. Yeah. The baseball players would just play on the basketball team, like they're in the off to stay in shape. They would just be basketball players.
Oh, really?
It was like, it's the most ragtag group of guys ever.
It's a community.
The coach was drunk. Constant. I mean, like.
Really?
Oh, he would show up drunk and have me run the team through stretches. He's like chugging water in his room.
That's like a sitcom. A junior college basketball team.
It was crazy.
Coach is drunk.
He'd show up to practice and he'd be like, I know fucking Jacob's on cocaine. I don't have time to deal with it. I'm just not going to deal with it today. And this kid's just on coke before practice.
One of the players.
One of the players. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was the whole. Yeah.
Was he like Teen Wolf out there? Was he just running fast and dunking on people and shit?
5'2". He's a baseball player, and he's just doing 2 balls down the court, back and forth on full sprints, just ball handling.
Just white stuff all over his nose. Wow, that's great. They probably should incentivize that in junior college. They're like, hey, do all the cocaine you want.
Yeah.
No one's gonna test
you. It's kind of part of the part of the selling.
It's part of like, here's your books. You pay your tuition, you get your bag of cocaine.
Yeah. Oh, and at Eastern, Cooper Kupp was on my intramural team.
Really?
Yeah. He never would play in the games because he couldn't towards the end, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, in the beginning, he was nobody. Like,
really?
He looked like some kid like an engineer, you know.
He's with, Seattle now? I think he plays for the Seahawks.
He won MVP with LA, and now he's in for the Seahawks back home. But, he was just reading his Bible all the time and just running routes by himself.
Really?
Every day. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic. He was in the cafeteria with his Bible up, nicest kid ever.
Yeah.
And then he was running routes by himself for like 8 hours a day.
Yeah, you got to be a maniac if you're trying to get to the professional level. You got to be a complete maniac, psycho. And then even once you're there, you got to be a psycho.
He just didn't care about anything else.
All right, game update. 6 minutes. It looks like the Steelers stopped them. 6 minutes and 20 seconds in the first quarter. 7-0 Steelers still. Aaron Rodgers, the old flea flicker, handed off to the running back, and then back to Rodgers, and he spiked it. Oh, he's yelling at somebody. Rodgers is yelling at his running back.
He needs a little more ayahuasca.
It's
not
chill
kicking
out.
in yet.
Yeah, chill out, man.
Heart rate's getting too high.
Smoke a doobie. Chill out. Number 8.
Catch me up. Is he good this year or supposed to be?
Rodgers?
Yeah, I know.
I think he's better. I think
ACL
there's the haters now. Like I'm a Packers fan.
Yeah.
So I was a huge fan. I watched him win the only Super Bowl I ever went to was in Dallas 15 years ago, and they won it. Me and my brother went there, spent a bunch of money on tickets. We're so glad we did. So who knows if your team ever goes back?
Yeah.
So I loved him.
Yeah.
And then he just got so weird in the last years, and he's just sort of a douche. So I'm not a huge fan anymore.
He feels a little righteous sometimes.
And he has a house here in San Diego. He has a house in like Del Mar, so he's down here in the off season. He would throw in Carlsbad. My buddy, who played for the Packers, he would get like high school kids he'd throw balls to. So he would like work out in Carlsbad at some of the high schools and stuff in the off season previous years. So he's like kind of local when off season he's here like half the year. But it's pretty amazing he's still playing. I don't know.
What is he, 40? 39?
Yeah. They're both in their 40s. I think both him and Flacco are like 42
Flacco's
or something.
42? Really?
I don't know. We need like Rogan has like Jamie or whatever to type things up.
I know.
Pull things up on the
we
screen.
need a projector back there that says no.
Yeah. My buddy Greg Fitzsimmons has a good podcast, and he does our club too. He's a regular. He has somebody for a while there. He didn't have anybody, so he's a little older than me. He'd lose. He's like, wait, what show was that again? He's got somebody type it up on the screen. I'm like, hey, I'll offer to do that for you. Yeah. So now he's got somebody to pull the shit up when he can't think of something, which is great.
Fitzsimmons is great.
Once we get to that level, we have hundreds of people on YouTube, hundreds of thousands on YouTube.
A live podcast, that would be sick.
We got kids over here heckling us.
Stop talking.
Eating pizza and heckling us. So Ramses, do we have just one open micer for the thing today? Ramses, do you want to go up, Ramses, and do 3 to 8 minutes? You want to do 30 minutes, Ramses? You want to do 30 minutes on stage?
Let's see it, Ramses. I've never seen you do comedy.
You've never seen Ramses do?
I don't think I have.
Oh, dude, some of the
Maybe I have.
Some of the bigger headliners we have make him go. Like Morgan J.
Really?
Yeah. Morgan will always fuck with Ramses. Some of the best crowd work I've ever seen is Ramses when he's like busting tables or being a server at the old place. Morgan just talking about Ramses.
That's so funny.
Like, look at him. He looks like he doesn't even work here. He looks like they pulled him off the street off his skateboard and were like, hey, bro, you want to help us out? Like, he would roast Ramses all. And then, like, J.C. Carias and all those guys will make Ramses do a guest set. You're doing a guest set. All right, Ramses comes up. That's fine. Yeah, he's got some good stuff. Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it. That's and fun, Gavin used to too. We used to put up Gavin sometimes. When Gavin stuck to another busboy, you remember Gavin? He's
I know he has my favorite joke I've ever heard at an open mic.
Gavin?
Gavin's, yes. It
Which
was at
one?
the Madhouse. I don't know if I should say. Can I?
What's it about? I'll say it if it's bad.
It's about maybe you know the joke. It's about how he has a 5-year plan.
No, I don't know.
Is it
unaliving himself at the end?
No. It's just a joke. It's really short. He's just like, my mom's always asking me about something about, I'm going to ruin it, but something about how I need to have a 5-year plan. So he's like, now I have a 5-year plan. She's 13.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I told you I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
You can't force me to say it and then give me a Jesus Christ after.
That's good. No, he's great.
It's a pretty funny joke.
He worked for years. He was actually working here for us for a while. I saw him after the Padre game a few weeks ago. I walked over to Madhouse and saw him on the street, tried to tackle him, but
he's out there. He doesn't work here anymore?
No,
I didn't know that.
No, he's sort of no.
Okay.
I mean, he's on the. When we're in trouble, I'm like, hey, can you work tomorrow night? And he'll help us out.
Yeah,
but he's whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, look who's here. So you want to hear the good news or the bad news, Louis? There is no good news. It's all bad news. Ramses, we have our fourth mic, the wireless that we bought a couple weeks ago. So Ramses came in to make sure we had 4 mics, right? Extra one for the comics when they're up. Somehow he broke the other wireless. So you guys will be sharing that other mic tonight. You guys. So you guys. Yeah. What do you want? Solly will help you. Solly. $3.94.
Could I get one?
You're going up.
Too, by chance?
Yeah. What do you want? White Claw?
Yeah, I'll take another White Claw. Or $3.94. Yeah, we're sharing mics over here.
We're drinking
just put 2 straws.
We're drinking bitch juice together.
What's going on, man?
I hide mine though. Solly, you notice how I hide mine so people can't make fun of me?
Are you that tall or? Are you taller than me?
He's tall.
I thought he was. I didn't know he was this tall.
Are you taller than me?
I feel very small right now.
Well, slouch down. Make him feel better. Slouch down.
I made it, though. Here we are.
All right, so this is Louis Centani, everybody.
Hey.
Clap it up for Louis Centani.
Woo!
He rode his moped all the way from San Diego up here.
Right.
35 miles an hour. Was traffic brutal?
It was not good.
Yeah.
It was not good. And none of the apps give you any options to cheat and go side streets. I thought Waze did that.
It does, but from down to up here, ain't not a lot to do.
Maybe there was nothing to do.
You can pay and do the carpool lane. You can pay, get one of those little things and pop it out, and then pay $5 and shoot, go up the middle.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Or you can buy a Tesla, or you can pull over in Miramar, buy a Tesla, or any electric car. Then you can get in that lane for free.
Yeah, no, I'm too cheap for that, and so I sit in traffic with my gas car.
You're like, just cussing the whole time.
Ruining the atmosphere.
So we were talking to Austin. He played college basketball, junior college basketball, talking about sports. He's not up to date
Did
on
you
the
say
NFL.
kind of?
Junior college.
It's college. It counts.
College is college. And as we learned in the first week of our podcast, Louis is a baseball guy. He still plays stickball. We told crazy stories about him diving headfirst on the concrete, on the blacktop in the street,
Breaking myself.
breaking his hands because he's a maniac. But he's also a Bears fan. Do you have a team, even though you're not following? Who's your team? Where you're
Seattle.
from? Seattle?
Across the board, yeah.
Where are you from?
Washington. I'm from a tiny town, but like 2 hours south of Seattle.
2 hours south.
So I
Seattle.
grew up like watching Seahawks and Mariners my whole life with my grandpa. That was
Okay.
like our thing.
So you're
yeah.
a fan and you like follow them a little bit?
Yeah, somewhat. I watch towards playoffs if we have a chance, but I grew up watching them.
So who's your dudes? Like Ken Griffey Jr., like what age, like were you when you watched stuff? Or football, was it?
Weirdly enough,
Russell Wilson?
Yeah, well, Russell Wilson, but Sean Alexander was like my dude.
Yeah.
He was like, I loved Sean Alexander as
Yeah.
a kid, and I don't even know why, but he was just
Great
he
running
was,
back.
He was my main dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then basketball, do you have a basketball team that are you?
The Blazers.
Blazers.
Yeah, 100%. I used to go to games quite a bit.
Yeah. My
but
buddy was the
especially when they had-
marketing director for the Blazers for like
No
12
way.
years. Yeah.
Really?
He's with the Suns last few years, and now he's with Houston as of 6 months ago.
Really?
He's
I
like,
used to. So I had this thing where I would get to like be in like certain random commercials just through some whatever because I played basketball or whatever. And so I got to be in like a Damian Lillard commercial with him and like LaMarcus Aldridge, and afterwards
Nice.
we just got to like play one-on-one.
oh, really?
I mean, not like we were shooting around.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It was kind of it was.
That's
it was fun.
cool.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Did you see Josh Nelson's commercial with Shaq yet?
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
No, we saw it here.
Did you know that there are multiple commercials
Yes.
with that premise? So
Yes.
on the like, I was watching Thursday night game, and it popped up, and it was like, oh, Josh's commercial's on again, and now it's a female comic that I didn't catch her name, but it's the same premise. She does jokes.
And someone said there's either Emmett
Thank
Smith. Thank you, Solomon. Solly, wave to the camera. This is the manager
Hey,
here,
Solly.
Solomon. He's got crowd control. The thousands of people that are here, Solomon is in
That's why you
charge
don't see anybody near the stage is because of him. He's keeping them away.
of security.
All of them are so far away.
He doesn't seem like a bouncer because he's a little shorter, but he's crazy as fuck. So do not mess with Solomon. He'll bounce you out of here quick in a full Nelson. So now that Louis here, Bears fan, Cubs fan.
Bears fan, Cubs fan. I'm so deeply sad that the Brewers are not winning. Oh, poor
And
them.
by the way, both games are
Poor
on.
them.
I haven't done any baseball. You got to help me with this, Louis. It's 3-1.
It's
Oh my God.
3-1 Dodgers in the 8th, and I know that in San Diego we're all supposed to hate the Dodgers, but I don't know if you saw when the Brewers beat the Cubs in the last series with our two top starters hurt, by the way, and they barely squeaked by us. They flew the Cubs lose flag in their team picture to celebrate. So I'm so sad that they're about to get swept by the Dodgers. It's poor them, you know.
I hate the Dodgers though more than anybody. Their
I hate-
celebration.
I hate
this whole,
Wisconsin teams.
This whole. Whoa, what?
Yeah.
All right, you get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. I'm a Padres fan because I've been here so long, but the Packers. I think I'm trying to get my kid to go to the Packers.
Why'd
Packers,
you pick the Packers as a team? Is your
I'm
family
from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah. I moved here when I was 8, but
Okay.
my dad moved back there. I would go back.
A lot of
the
people
Packers play at Arizona this Sunday, and my son and I have been like, we haven't.
You gonna go?
Well, I keep saying, hey, he has a game Friday night, and I'm like, hey, do you want to
come
go? We'll fly
on.
Saturday. And he's just like, well, I don't know how I'm gonna feel. He's 18-year-old teenager. I don't know how I'm gonna feel on Saturday.
Well, he is getting tackled by
Yeah,
people who are a lot bigger
He's
than
got CTE already because he's a quarterback. So, and by the way, he wasn't even looking at me when he was talking. He was like facing the wrong way.
Yeah,
like,
just
like
cross-eyed.
fucking-
Yeah, I don't know how I'm
like-
gonna feel.
Like Bobby Boucher. He's just
You
over
know,
there.
every time the Bears play in Arizona, my dad and I drive up the morning of. You just leave at 6 a.m. You'll get there in time.
Yeah, I told him we could fly. I even looked. Palomar has flights. I even looked at. They were like expensive though, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he's alive on Saturday morning if we wanted to go or not. But
Do the Cardinals have anybody worth Are they good this year at all? I
don't know. Don't know.
We're here to talk about the Thursday night game. I want to know about Arizona.
Yeah. I know these teams because I looked. Steelers are 4-1 with old ass Aaron Rodgers, and then Cincy, since Joe Burrow's hurt, they're 1-4. And then we were just talking about Flacco stepping in after just like a few days to play quarterback. Like, how hard is that?
Did you play football?
No. I played flag football, and I wasn't very good at that.
I was gonna say, if you did, you seem like a quarterback. So I was gonna ask you a few questions. Shortstop, yeah. Yeah,
You said
that makes
flag
sense.
with an L, right? Flag. I want to make sure. Oh, okay.
Hard
okay.
L, hard
okay,
L
I wanted
on
to make
that.
sure because I'm not sure how YouTube standards are. If this is even no one's
Does
watching.
this
No
go
one's
on
watching.
YouTube?
Yeah, this
Am I
is live
making my
on YouTube.
debut right now?
Yeah, this is your
Sick.
debut. Yeah.
Actually, no. I went to college in Texas, and they have a really big network of like intramural flag football between the universities. So I actually played against UT flag football, and it was basically their basketball players and stuff.
That's what he was just saying.
And so they put me at cornerback for like the first drive of the game, and there was a dude who was probably 6'7", 6'8", definitely like small forward or something in basketball. And I'm just like, he's going to burn me so hard right now. And it took him probably like 0 to 60 in 2.2. He was on the complete other side, about a 70-yard touchdown. They never let me play cornerback again. They put me at middle linebacker and said, just try to stop it if they hand it off. And that was it. I was not good at that sport.
That's funny.
Yeah, I
What-
played.
And
I
the other
played.
game, by the way, Toronto-Seattle just started, right? 0-0. The other baseball game. Just so
This
we're
is the
updated.
first game, right?
No. Yeah, it's
Oh,
2
I
to
thought
1.
the one we just won was the last game. Okay. Okay.
2-1 Seattle.
Yeah, because I know they were talking.
And
about
it's
we-
over. The
no
Dodgers
pitchers.
win. It's fucking over. God, I hate the Dodgers.
Are these people here for the open mic, or are they just having some good pizza?
So we have one for the open mic, which we're going to put them up in about 5-7 minutes here since I have a softball game again. And we're actually going down. How are we getting lower on the open mic? It was like 3 and then 2 last week, and now we're down to 1. And we weren't even that mean. We weren't mean to anybody in the first few weeks. Like, maybe that's the problem. If you're mean like Tony Hinchcliffe, they're like, then, yeah, they come back and they're like a beating maybe, or I don't know. We'll be meaner, I guess.
Well, so we're gonna make it. You have a softball game you're going to instead of the
I was
podcast.
gonna make you-
You're
if-
trying to get this podcast. Does Tony ever leave Kill Tony for like a pool game or something?
Well,
Like,
he's getting paid a lot of money.
he's
so-
got nothing else
Well,
going
that's why
on.
I have you here. I have you here because I was like, well, Louis there, so I can just pass it off. Say there were like 10 open micers. I'm like, I'll just have Louis, and I do need substitute, people to handle this. I mean, Jesus, you don't want to leave this in anyone's hands. I mean, it's so busy out here.
Running
that,
the
I mean,
open mic like a corporation.
you want to make
I
sure
need
it's
to
somebody
sell it.
responsible. Like, we don't want Austin running it. I mean, look at this guy. Ramses, do we only have one person in the bucket? How many people in the? Anybody else going up? Are you going up tonight, sir? What? Come on. Have you ever done open mics before? Are you thinking about doing open mics? You're just here to watch, or you happen to be walking by? You were going to get some Victoria.
Ramses, why aren't you going up?
You will?
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
I
No,
like
we're
it.
cooking.
Ramses, balls on Ramses. I will say that. Ramses has balls. I mean, I can't, as his employer, I probably shouldn't be saying it that way, but.
He seems like. he does.
And then, have you ever done an open mic before? Are you looking to do it someday potentially? No? So you just like watching people bomb? You do?
I like that.
I'm the opposite. If it's not good, like if it's okay, I'm fine. But if it's like bad, I just like, ooh.
Yeah, if it's bad, I leave, and if it's good, it's like that should be.
Like I've bombed enough on stage on my own that I don't want to see other people do it.
I've done comedy long enough that I don't even really like it anymore, even if it's good. It's got to be great for me to want to stick around.
I like new Orny this weekend.
Orny
was
this
new.
weekend.
Yeah.
That was the first weekend in a very long time where, other than Saturday night when the Cubs were losing to end their season, and I popped out to watch that game, I watched every minute of him for all 4 shows. He was just a pro. Yeah. So good. I might go up and watch his special on Saturday.
He texted me yesterday, and I was like,
He gave you his phone number. He finally trusted you.
you know why? You know why? So he also has the famous. So for those of you in YouTube world, a few of the famous comedians that I've dealt with, worked with the last whatever years, they have the private. Like when they call you, it just says private number, and
Yeah.
you're like, nowadays you're like, fuck you, you know.
Yeah.
Until you realize like, oh, it's this person, some really famous people just have that private number, and they don't text much, or they do a voice. They'll do a voice
I
text.
don't like the voice text thing that people do. My friends do that. I never reply. I don't have time for that.
I told Morgan Jay a few years ago that like this comedian, there's some very like Netflix special comedians, like they all send me voice text, which is weird because it's like the most famous people we've had at the club do that.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's it. I'm sending voice
And
text.
so now
to everyone
Morgan
from
Jay
now on."
does that?
Morgan said,
That's
now he sends me voice text. I'm like, hey, you fucking asshole, stop sending me voice text. So yeah, he finally texted me, but I do want to go up Saturday. I don't know. We'll see. It's not like I have to be
I
here.
might. He told me to reach out to him. We had a good weekend. I opened for Orny Adams, one of the coolest guys to open for in terms of just true stand-up comedy like chops. He was like watching him, and my favorite part, and I'm not going to give how the sausage is made, but listening to him and his producer back there talk about the special.
That was his producer?
Yeah, he's producing the special, and I think he's just kind of one of his sounding boards for comedy. It sounded like it. He was giving him a lot of notes and stuff. He was asking for notes. But just listening to them talk, the nuances of a pro at that level, like talking about every little detail, where the cameras would be when he said certain punchlines, like every little aspect. It was super interesting to hear someone at that level. Because if I were, like when I filmed my dry bar, and they were like, so what do you want to do? What do you want to wear? I'm like, you tell me. Like I had no agency.
Yeah.
I didn't know what would look good.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool to hear.
Here's the thing. That guy told Solomon, hey, can I give you some advice about this place? And Solomon's like, here we go. He said the
Was it
tables.
good advice?
Well, I'm asking you guys. I won't give my opinion until you guys tell me what you think. He said these tables up front were too close to the stage. And then Solomon just went like, I mean, these are all bunched up right now. Usually it's like 1, 2. There's probably 6 around here, but they are right up on the stage. And
So
there's 2
is
seats.
he saying get rid of the row, or is he saying just move them back a foot?
He's saying more like 5 feet back. So yeah, maybe get rid of that
5
row, and then that's where it would start.
That's the front row.
Yeah.
I think if the stage were bigger, like wider, I would agree with that. I don't know. Like maybe.
So you think it's too close?
I think that this room is so big that you could. I don't know about you. You tell me, Austin. I think you could run the stage another few feet this way.
Oh, okay. Now you got me changing the stage in here. All right, let's stick to one
But
thumb at a
then-
time. We're not changing this fucking stage, all right? Austin, take the mic from him. What do you think?
I think you have room to push this wall like 10 feet this way if you wanted to.
Tell Target. You got to take over
Yeah.
Target, kick them out.
No, I think from the comedian's perspective, I only have a complaint when the seats are too far away.
Yes, that's
That's
normal.
my only complaint. But
Yeah.
from the audience perspective, I could see them maybe being nervous being this close. You know?
Yeah,
where
but
they
here's the
feel-
deal. The Comedy Store, my argument to that is, one, we want to fit as many people in here as we can because that's where we make money, right? Especially the famous people that sell out.
Yeah.
So you want to maximize the space. Like, we freaking got it up to about 185 for some of the shows. And we could actually do more, but like the Comedy Store, I told them, well, Comedy Store, Laugh Factories, they're all right. I mean, the Comedy Store, they're all right up on the stage. Yeah. So I don't know. I was kind of like, fuck him, is what I kind of thought.
Yeah, and it's not worth losing seats. If pushing it back loses seats, fuck
Yeah.
that, dude. That's
Yeah, and no
that's
one's
8
complaining.
beers
He's the
right
first
here.
person to
Yeah.
say that. And all the comics have said nothing but good things about this room, thank God, the last 6 months. What did I miss here, Louis? Did something happen?
Mookie made a great play.
The Padres almost got him he was like Dodgers or Padres a few years ago, and then it was all Dodgers.
You know, I hate the Dodgers like everyone else in San Diego does, but I also it's really hard to get mad at an organization that found the cheat code to winning. Like they just do this deferring every contract and stuff, and all of our teams are acting like, what do we do? Like they're just
Yeah.
throwing it in our face, and
Yeah,
so
that
part of me
Ohtani-
wants them to
that
keep.
that Ohtani contract thing. There's no way that can be like.
They either need to make it illegal or teams need to shut up and start doing it.
Yeah,
Like
well, no
as-
one wants to do that. Like
As a
he
Cubs
makes-
fan, I'm like, just you want to get Kyle Tucker back? Pay him until 2090, whatever.
like Bobby Bonilla.
Because it's only Otani's losing money on that inflation. He's losing money. That the dollar today is going to be worth less.
But
when
he's so loaded and everything else. It's almost
he
like
doesn't
who
care.
cares?
Okay, so basically, I forget what the exact contract is, but let's say it was $700 million for 10 years or something like that. But they deferred like $650 million of it or something, right? Something like that.
A lot of it, and he can take it when he now lives in Japan.
Yes.
So when they pay him, it's tax free.
And so he-
all our money that we're paying, that he's
Right, because on a per year basis, like this year he made $2 million.
so even though he is making
68
his money,
million
he's
was-
making his money in California, right? And actually, they pay taxes in each state that they play in. By the way, that's the whole thing. My buddy played for the Yankees. They pay taxes every state they play in. They pay whatever percentage it is to those. So he could go tax free. So he can not pay taxes, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah.
If you make money in the United States, you need to pay your taxes guy.
Yeah.
When did I turn into pay your taxes guy? How old am I? I got a mustache now. Pay your taxes. Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn.
Bootstraps. Pick yourself up by bootstraps.
Get a job.
It did.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it sounded like you look though too. It
But
sounded.
he's making all that money here. How is that money just, you know what I mean, not going back to the
Yeah,
kids?
it's like
or the-
Japan already has the best trains and stuff. We need infrastructure.
He could pay for that bullet train himself.
Literally.
All right, Ramses, how many people do we have going up? We're going to start this thing,
I'm going
Ramses.
to start it because we're still just starting the second quarter. It is 7-0. We're not doing play-by-play, but
Rams-
the Steelers are driving.
All right, give me some names then, Ramses. Give me, write them down or something and let me know, or tell me who's first or whatever you want to do. We'll get it going.
Right there.
Yeah, yeah. If you like them,
the ass will be in your
listen,
face.
If you like them, you give them a little pinch on the ass.
Yeah.
If you don't,
That's
if,
the second sexual harassment thing you've said. Like,
if you don't like them, you flick their ear. You flick them in the ear. It's not sexual harassment if it's a show, right? You can do anything. It's not.
Dodgers
not
have
real life.
finished Game 3. They are up 3-0
God
on the
damn it.
poor Milwaukee. Oh, poor Milwaukee.
Oh, it's 7-game series. I thought they were going to wrap it up. It's 7.
Yeah, best of
game.
7.
Okay, so 7 this one, 7 the next one.
They taunt the Cubs as though we are like some sort of evil empire, and they've never won anything. And it's like, all right, well, you want us to root for you? Don't be jerks.
Otani's a robot, dude. I'm convinced.
He
His
is.
head is so small. His head is so small, but his body's so big. He might be a robot or AI. That's what they're warning us about AI all the time. Otani's AI. Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
there's
a child.
a few of
hello,
those running
hello,
around
child.
here. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
younger one over there somewhere.
You going
There
on
was.
stage?
He's like
Hey,
2
kid, are
years
you going
old.
on stage tonight? Keep it clean, kid. All right, no curse words. Hey, oh, there's a good story. So my kid was about 11, and Paulo Gatta. So it might have been during COVID. So he's like 11, 12 at my club, and I try to think of. I made him go on stage, and I'm going to videotape you doing the dirtiest joke that I can think of what one of my friends does. And Paulo Gatta has this very filthy joke. And I'm like, this is going to be great. Listen, you're going to say this. And it's the one time you say it. Mom's going to kill me, but it's going to be so funny because you're 11.
This
and-
is your kid or a
yeah,
random
my kid.
kid?
Yeah,
Okay.
my kid. Yeah, yeah. It's just some kid off the street. Come
I
here,
thought it
kid.
was-
Say cunt, fuck, pussy.
It was that kid right there.
Yeah.
It was him.
Yeah.
You want to not go to college?
So,
Say this.
so should I say the joke? So, oh God, I have the video. I should play it. No. And I didn't share it or put it on social media, obviously, because it's so filthy. But I did send it to Paul and like Josh Nelson, a few comedian friends. So my kid goes on stage with his hat, and he memorized it pretty good. He goes, oh God, what is it? He goes, Snapple says they have the best taste in anything on earth. He says, that's bullshit. I don't see a pussy flavor or something to that effect. That's something it's better than that.
Did it crush?
Oh my God! I videotaped it and I sent it to Paul. He goes, "Child abuse. I'm sending this to the fucking city of Escondido or whatever to come check on you." It was pretty good. I don't know. I screwed up the joke but you get the gist of it.
The funny thing is, as a comedian, I think most people would be more offended by the fact that you let your son steal a joke than by the fact that he said that.
Well, it was Paul. He's a friend. No one was in the audience, by the way. He was just on stage by himself. Although my kid had balls though. When he was about 12 at the La Costa show, I do. You've done the La Costa show, right? Oh, I hit you up for it. Thank you, sir. He introduced Morgan Jay over there. He goes, this is my favorite comedian in the world. He's staying at my house tonight. Give it up for Morgan Jay. And
Really?
Morgan, yeah, he opened like maybe 5 years ago, introduced Morgan, which balls like 300 people in a
What
showroom.
was he, 13? at
Yeah,
that
he's
point?
probably he's probably like
Wow.
13.
I love that you have a jar to pick 2 names out of.
Shh. Hey, we can only do 3 tonight, guys. So I'm gonna.
Oh
dig-
man, how are we ever gonna
I'm
pick
gonna-
it at random?
I'm gonna dig deep. Let me get my old man fucking Up. I'm the old man from Up. when
By
I
the way,
put
you
these
only
on.
have 2 mics, so when they start talking, we are silenced. The 2 of us are
Yeah.
just completely
Yeah,
silent.
you guys gotta shut the fuck
Fair,
up.
fair. So we're just sitting here. It's way too close to a comic for. Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Look at people just write first names now. Can we get Ramses? Will you take this a little more professional? Write full names so I can give. Look, we got first names.
It just says Gallagher.
I don't even know. There's a John and a Chris. I don't know. You know what? I think Chris has been waiting. Chris, what's your last name again?
I still think one of my favorite stories in comedy. I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Do it. Do it.
Well, Gallagher, his brother
yes, stole his act.
stole his act. I think he bought it and then just started performing it.
Gallagher 2.
And he goes by Gallagher too. And it's the same act. It's just called Gallagher
Listen,
too.
I was either gonna build this
ballsy.
Yeah.
Does he-
Same. He looks like his
He looks
brother.
the same, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was either going to build this club or do Gallagher 3 and try to buy that and do the mustache.
Oh, that would
and-
be yeah. Well, you know, I had this talk with somebody years ago. You know how there's this big market for cover bands? Like there's Red Knot Chili Peppers and like all these bands that go around and like Elvis impersonators and stuff. But like, do you think it's ever going to get to a point in stand-up where like what if somebody mastered Robin Williams' act and was able to do it?
There's Mitch Hedberg has a lot of like people that have mastered Mitch Hedberg.
But they do it just like.
Yeah, there's people that do the jokes, but there's people that do jokes that you like are exactly Mitch Hedberg jokes.
Yeah, but
that
at
look
clubs,
just like
at
him.
clubs and bars
That
and
Kill
stuff?
Tony. Like this dude got.
Well, they must
Yeah,
call him out. Kill Tony must call him out, right?
Oh, 100%. And online he got destroyed, but
Yeah.
like the jokes were good. Mitch Hedberg. They
Oh,
were new.
yeah.
They were new.
So here's
But
a
they were
question.
Mitch Hedberg.
Here's a
jokes.
here's a
And
good
the
here's a
voice
good
and everything.
here's
It
a
was
good
crazy
question
to
for
see.
our podcast with two
Yeah.
mics, and we're about to have 4 people and only 2 mics.
Both
I-
of you respond.
I've had comics here, guest sets that have been referrals from somebody or whatever, a host, and I've heard things that I'm like, that, you know, I won't go into names or the actual jokes because then they'll know all the thousands of people watching the YouTube thing right now. But where I'm in the back DJing, and I know comedy, I've been a fan. I'm 53 years old. I've been a fan my whole, and I'm like, that's a John Panette joke about moving, the mic stand to see me. Hey, let me move the mic stand so you can see me. Which again, that's not. But I've heard some things that I'm like, very linear to like too close. Like someone went on YouTube and looked up some old shit that no one's gonna know this, but I'm like, this old guy knows. And like, do you say something?
I've seen people at open mics do a whole set of like someone's set from like the 80s or 90s.
Really?
I've seen that. But what annoys
They're
me?
like Jimmy Carter, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he crazy?
Well, what's even worse is I see people do memes. Like, memes online where they'll
Yeah.
say whatever. I see people go up and repeat them verbatim, and it's like, at least steal a joke. Like, at least steal a comics joke. That bugs me more.
Now, to be fair, I've seen like friends of mine go up at open mics where nobody's getting any laughs and just do a norm set just to like make the comics laugh or something if they're doing it for that reason. It's been one of my dreams to go up into a dead room and do the I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. The Bernie Mac. It's been my dream to just do that verbatim as like the white guy who's always
in
doing
blackface.
like.
No, you should go in blackface.
Dude, in blackface? You think I should do that? Yeah,
Your
okay.
Career,
I will
career
consider
take
that.
Off. Your career will take off.
But it's just like, to me, that's the epitome of something that is not me at all.
Yeah.
And I just think it would be really funny to get up and for 5 minutes just do Bernie Mac.
That would be good. You should do it here. If
But you got to do it in a way that people know you're not stealing it. You're doing it in homage,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's when you're trying to make people truly believe that you wrote this.
All right, we're going to do this. Ramses, are you ready with the music? This guy is a regular. He basically watched me snap earlier when the wireless mics both broke. Our 2 new ones did not work. He watched me have a meltdown. He's very helpful. He was trying to help, and I was like, no, I don't need your help. Stay away from me. So I apologize in advance, Chris, for that. I appreciate your help.
You did snap on this dude.
I was just like, what the fuck? This is my life. I'm back there.
This is my favorite intro I've ever heard. Anybody.
No.
This next comic, when I snapped at him earlier.
Well, Louis knows, right?
Verbally
Shit goes
abuse this
wrong.
guy.
Shit goes wrong at work, and I'm like, motherfucker, this is my life. And they're just like quietly ducking back there. I'm like, this shit happens all the time. Anyway, I'm happy now. I got a White Claw on me. So anyway, we're going to get, you got music ready, Ramses? Oh, it's about time. This guy is a regular here at the open mic. If he keeps up his good work, we'll give him a guest set one of these days. We'll see how he does. Oh, we got that one? That one works? All right. You know what? I'm going to have you give him that mic, actually, then.
Yeah, we're not doing shit.
By the way,
over here
Orny broke the mic stand again. Yeah, what? My manager goes, is it a thing, like, for him just to break our mic stands? Like, everyone, whatever, I buy a mic stand. I don't know, you slam it down, and then you fucking make fun of the club for having bad mic stands. All right. Coming to the stage. A regular here at the open mic. Probably going to put him a guest set one of these days. We'll see how he does. The pressure's on. Thanks for hanging. Give it up for Chris K. Music, Ramses.
What's up, guys?
Here, move that thing so people
Sure.
can see
Let me
you.
get right into this. So, no, I wondered what it was like to perform, for you guys to perform during the pandemic on Zoom, and so this is like the closest I'll get. So, I'll get right into it. As Adam just found out recently, my wife of nearly 25 years and I, we provide home health care for my now 104-year-old grandmother with late-stage dementia. Yeah, dude, we're living the dream. She lived in a retirement home for about 10 years, and as her dementia progressed, they put her on hospice, which you may know. You know, you have about 6 months or less to live when you're on hospice. So after 4 months, we thought we'd move her home with us for end-of-life care, and that was 8 years ago, November. So either we're really good at this or we suck at this. I'm not sure which anymore. But in that time, I thought I'd pretty much seen everything until a few months ago during the summer when the three of us are in the living room watching American Ninja Warrior. Any of you guys watch American Ninja Warrior? No?
Yes.
All right, great show. Anyways, three of us are in there watching American Ninja Warrior when all of a sudden I catch this peculiar motion out of the side of my eye, and I look over, and I shit you not, there's my grandma, 104 years old, hand down her pants, vigorously pleasing herself. Oh my God. On my life. Head back, making an O face and everything. Right? Disturbing. I mean, that was just one of those things that, you know, you don't expect to see in life, and when you see it, you can't unsee it. So I nudged my wife so she could see it too. And no sooner had my wife's jaw dropped in absolute horror than my grandma peeked her open her eye and saw us looking at her, whips her hand out of her pants and goes back to Stokely watching TV. So I don't know if you've ever seen a centenarian blush, but if you want to make a 100-year-old lady blush, just catch her tickling her little man in a boat or old man in the sea while watching American Ninja Warrior. I don't even think she finished the stage because I'm pretty sure I heard a splash. But, you know, it was so utterly disgusting and disturbing, I had to write a song about it to cope. You guys want to hear it? Let's go. All right. Caught my grandma flicking her bean. She was making a scene, whipping up cream, finger blasting her coos while we were watching the news. Caught my grandma flicking her bean. Her hand was moving real fast, just like a machine inside her pants. We watched her knuckles dance. And when you've seen your grandma flicking her bean, well, it's one of those things that can't be unseen. Asked my wife to look too, didn't think it would hurt her, but I didn't know. Grandma's a squirter. Now, if you're wondering how this song ends, I got some good news for you, my perverted friends, because in just 2 more days, we launch her OnlyFans page. Use the code GRANDCOMEDY for 10% off, you guys. Thanks.
All right. Do not use the code Grand Comedy Club. We want nothing to do with grandma squirting.
Sexual elder abuse?
Yeah, will you pass that over there for me, Chris? All right. Guys, I'll have you guys start. You know what? I'll have you guys start. You guys start, and then I'll hop in after you. I'm in shock. I'm in shock right now.
Yeah.
So you guys go ahead.
I will say this: 10 out of 10 stage presence, 10 out of 10 rhyming, dude. I couldn't fucking imagine doing a set with us on stage with you, dude. I was engaged. I will say that.
All right, positive. The positive. Here comes the negative, Louis. So Louis fairly clean, just so we're clear. Louis not
No,
a.
I'm not going to say negative. It's a universe that I don't know. That was the filthiest thing I've heard in a while. I'm not. I don't approve of any of it.
And he wrote a song about it too.
I'm anti-censorship until about 3 minutes ago, actually. No, I actually think the 2 areas that this isn't negative as much as it's just you have stuff you can mine more into. The notion of taking somebody in hospice care and they survive. There's so much more about the bitterness, the weird. Like I love them, but I also kind of like I have an angry. This is a horrible comparison, but I have an angry Great Dane who's 10, and my son the other day was like, I hope he lives another 6 years, and I was like, God, I hate that hope. Like I love my dog, but I hope he lives not that long. And like you have something to go mine into there, but then. Also, you said in their song, you say, we're watching the news. I want to know more about what was on TV. I want to know the details. I want to know what Grandma saw that she was like, now's the time to explore my body. Dude, some of those athletes are cut. Is that, was it sports?
American.
Oh, you did say American Ninja, but what was going on American Ninja Warrior? Was it? Okay.
Yeah. She's a horny old lady.
This is a horny 104-year-old. And there are children walking by as we're talking about
you
this.
know,
Can we close that curtain? I see like a 4-year-old.
Thank God that kid was out of here. I mean, he probably wouldn't understand any of those words. He's like, squirt gun fight? I think there's
When he said hurt her, I was like, I know what's happening next, and I'm not happy with this.
Oh, my Lord. I will say this, Chris, because I keep thinking, you know, you're talking about doing guest sets here. stuff like that. I would say that was super filthy and dirty. And if you're trying to get your best like 5 minutes together, 7 minutes together to get on regular shows, I would say abandon the super dirty shit. Because I mean, I wouldn't put you up with that just because. Open mics, that probably destroys the open mics because a lot of times open mics only have like, 5, 10 regular people and then like 20 open micers. And open micers will all laugh only at the dirtiest shit. So at open mic, that would probably be like, oh, this is crazy and funny. And we were laughing too because it was so crazy. But as far as like getting your best 5 or 7 together to start off and then start doing shows at clubs and then doing the store open mic and doing whatever, I would say, like he said, mind some of the cleaner stuff that you can get out of there because it's a great premise for you for sure because you lived it. But it's so filthy that I don't know. I don't know if I would fly with it.
No, I appreciate that, man. And the only reason I led with that tonight was because I broke that news to you last week.
Yeah.
That was part of my set last week. And I probably have about another 5 minutes of all grandma-related stuff. But, dude, it's really hard when you're caring for a centenarian like that who's an invalid. It's hard to mind clean stuff, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But
That being said, I probably have about 10 minutes of cleaner stuff. When you were doing a clean comedy night at the old place, I worked on building clean sets, thinking that was like the focus of some of the
well, not
open mics.
clean. It doesn't have to be
So-
clean. I'm just saying not filthy.
Oh, yeah, I have that too.
We
So
had
I
that
just-
when we first opened the old club. A lot of old people came in early on.
The early shows are 6:30 here. Like you get a lot of blue hair and,
Yeah,
and
a little
white
older.
hair. And I'm a clean comic, but I have a couple of things that I still won't do in front of them because they want to hear about stuff they can relate to, and not many people can relate to a 104-year-old grandma rubbing herself.
Or maybe they can. Maybe
they can. I don't know.
They're all like this, pointing at their wives. They're like.
You guys, because this is something that I've asked, I've gotten conflicting things about. I've done a Tuesday night at the store. I have a Thursday night showcase waiting for me when I'm ready to go do it, and I like it being in the potential. But I've gone into places like the store where I've had a certain set lined up, and then I see the demographic does not align with my material. Do you guys advise that you pivot in the midnight hour and
No,
like, deliver things for that?
Where you're
crowd?
at, you want to do your best 5, best 7, your best, have it tight and great, and get that best 5, 7, whatever it is, and lock it in and do it. I mean, at like what he's saying, if you had 20 minutes or whatever, and then you came to a sold-out show here, and you realize, oh, the 6:30 earlier, I told you, 6:30 is usually an older crowd, so don't do the grandma scoring thing. Then maybe you would pivot, but I would say, as a newer comic, you want to get your tight 5 and just have it good.
Yeah,
right?
and I think you can, because I'm not a clean comic, but I'm not filthy either. And a lot of like my premises, they sound filthy, but I lean into how I feel about that. Like I have a bit about not being able to like please my girlfriend in bed, but it's how I feel about being blamed for that every time. And so it's like if you
She
lean
she tells me all the time about that too.
Yeah.
I have a bit about you not being able to please your girlfriend too.
Everyone does, dude. But I think if you lean into, like he said, if you lean into how, like, 'cause you had a point in there where you said, we're either really good or really bad because she's still alive. That could be the whole bit. You could do it like 3 minutes on like, this was our goal to keep her alive. That wasn't my plan. Like that could be your whole bit. That's how you
and take
feel.
out all the dirties. Like
Yeah,
you clean up
and
the,
it's still
the
not a
action
clean-
of it.
it's
You
still not a
you
clean
clean up
thing.
the action of it
Yeah.
too. Yeah, and be like, she had her hand in her pants.
Yeah,
because
because
whatever.
people can't relate to stories as much, but they can relate to non-clean feelings. Someone can be like, no, I've been there. Like the whole crowd here will be like, I've been there before.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate it. And, dude,
All
I can relate to non-clean feelings. You're an Aztec for life. I didn't know that. Go Aztecs.
Yep,
Let's move
I was
on
in
that.
Reno.
And you
I
play
was in
college
Reno.
ball. What'd you play?
Okay, all right.
position?
This isn't question time for you, Chris. This
Sorry,
is not
dude.
question
All
time
right,
for you.
all right. Hey,
We'll
man.
give it one more time for Chris K, everybody. One more time for Chris
Can
K.
I keep coming? I'm doing 3 new minutes each week until you get this off the ground.
Okay, I don't know. Pass it out. Good job. Good job. You made us laugh with the squirting, but I almost threw up in my mouth twice, and it wasn't the Zen either. I wasn't the Zen. All right, I gotta go to a softball game in 10 minutes, so we're gonna get one more up, and then Louis is gonna take over the role of host because he's probably better at it than me anyway.
I'll probably
All
have
right.
to leave at 7-ish. Just
Since
a heads
Ramses
up.
is terrible at his job,
At 7.
since Ramses is terrible at his job, we have a first name here. Is John here? Is John here? John's here. Oh, John, the father. He was laying low. He didn't tell us the truth. All right. Next guy coming to the stage was here with his wife and kid, and we're excited that he's coming up here. He's been here since the beginning. Give it up for John, everybody. John!
Wait, his kid was here during that last set?
That was his kid talking. No. His
Okay,
kid's out there
okay,
now.
okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right, Hey, I appreciate you guys doing this. I was telling him I used to do this back in the day. It's been about 15 years, but I want to get back up
15
there,
years. Clap it up. He's back 15 years. Love it.
Back! So some of you saw my son earlier. I want to tell I know this is supposed to be kind of a sports thing. I want to start off by saying that I'm proud to say that I have a gay son. As you can see, he's pretty young. I don't think he's attracted to men or anything. He just seems super into soccer, so I just assume that, that's kind of where I go. But he actually seems really into sports. I kind of kept this sports. I thought this was what the theme was. He seems really into sports. I'm excited about that. My dad was super into sports. I grew up watching sports with him, baseball, football. My dad was a big boxing fan. But you learn a lot about your dad. You learn a lot about yourself when you watch sports. Things that, your dad might not tell you. My dad, like I said, my dad was a big boxing fan. I'm sure you guys remember Mike Tyson. Obviously, the guy's famous. He had some great fights. He fought a guy named Evander Holyfield, if you remember. Evander Holyfield, really big, ripped African-American guy. I only bring that up because it was kind of peculiar. I would talk to my dad. We'd be watching the fight, and I'd be like, hey, who you rooting for? And he would say, the white guy. I just thought that was kind of odd. But my dad grew up in a different time, though. I'm from Philadelphia, if you can't tell from my very esteemed accent. Northeast Philadelphia, where my dad grew up, very different time in the 40s and the 50s. My grandfather moved around a lot. When he was about 10 years old, they moved down to Houston, Texas. This was like 1959. So, he had to kind of play the role of a white guy in Texas in 1959. This was before civil rights. And I only bring that up because we all know that after civil rights, things for black people in this country were amazing. So this was before that. So, he kind of had to play the role. He also used to take me golfing a lot. I'm a big golfer. I learned that it's important to have, he had this female therapist. We used to go to her apartment after golf rounds, and he'd be up there for like an hour. He'd come down, and he'd feel so much better, and he, just said, hey, I had a good therapy session with Judy today, but don't tell your mom about it. I want to keep it on the side. So my dad taught me that, having a female therapist on the side is a pretty good thing to do. So he taught me a lot. So I'm happy that, I hope my son is into sports like that as well. The last thing I'll say is we got Thursday night football here. I love football. Obviously an Eagles fan. Good year for us last year. The last two games, not so well. One thing I love about football, I love the old films where they do the mic'd up versions. But the thing that I find is that I feel like the guys know they're mic'd up, so they try to sound cool, They'll see Aaron Rodgers, I'm coming for you. I'm going to tackle you. I want to develop a mic'd up episode where the players don't know they're mic'd. I'm not sure that it'd be appropriate for Thursday night football. It might be kind of like, hey, man, is that massage parlor open after the game tonight with a Vietnamese gal who'll lick your asshole for an extra $200? Not sure John Madden would have appreciated that, but he's dead anyway, so who cares? Hopefully this didn't go so bad. Thank you.
All right. Music. Clap it up for John, everybody. John. First time in 15 years. I like it. I like it a lot. Would you gentlemen like to start down there?
Yeah, you started off hot. I liked the joke about how your son is gay and you don't know, but he likes soccer. I thought that was a great joke. The rest of the world probably going to hate it, but it works in America, I think.
Hell yeah. Fuck soccer.
The main comment in terms of constructive, things to think about in a 5-minute set, especially 3-minute open mic set. There are different theories in comedy. Laughs per minute is kind of one of the theories. I ascribe to the notion that in an open mic, there's a direct correlation between how long you speak before a punchline and how hard it has to hit. So basically, if your punchlines aren't going to be massive laughs, get to them faster. Try your best to get to them faster. If you have something that you're building up to that's going to be huge, then you can take your time to it. So I would just say kind of less lead up to the punchlines.
Yeah, economy of words. Yeah. So trim out some of the fat, get to the bang, 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 what it is. The therapist joke, I thought you were going to say she was a hooker or a massage place when you said keep it our secret. I was waiting for like the punch there because that was pretty good. Well, he used to keep it a secret. He'd say, don't tell mom. And then whatever it is. And then I saw her and she was wearing, high heels and a skirt, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Or you saw her and turn it the other way. Like, it clearly wasn't something that we even needed to keep a secret. Like Dad, you're into that? That's the secret?
Judy was a guy named Bob.
Yeah, it was exactly.
And that's why my kid is gay and likes soccer. Whoa, I don't know.
I think with like the Texas joke, I actually like that one a lot. I like you were kind of doing a misdirect in the fact you were graduating into how hard it was for a white guy in Texas at that time. But I think like there's some funny parts in even the setup of that you just roll over. I think accentuating when something's supposed to be funny, let them know it's supposed to be funny, either with a pause or a stronger setup. Because all of those were within the setup, and then it kind of confused me when you threw the black guy civil rights part in there. I wouldn't even mention that. I would keep it subtle the whole time, and because I think that was funny. You know how hard it is for a white guy in 1959. You know what I mean? And then you kind of just got too direct, I feel like. But I think if you accentuate a lot of it, like what he was saying, the laughs per minute will go up because the setup's also funny. You were just talking over a lot of the funny, but I didn't think it was a bad idea.
That was great. I thought it was first time confidence. It was good. I mean,
Yeah,
this
and
this overwhelming crowd could make you not confident.
And
but,
you have maybe the most Philadelphia posture I've ever seen.
Let's fight.
We don't think we're rock.
Let's give it up for John. One more time for John. Everybody, clap it up for John. Well done, sir. Well done. See you maybe Sunday night. We have the open mic every Sunday. We're building this thing and come back anytime. You don't have to do all 3 minutes. You want to do whatever. No, I'm saying. No. I'm saying some people, like, if they want to come back next Thursday, they're like, shit, I don't have 3 minutes. They might only have 1 minute news, so who gives a shit? Yeah. You guys, I wasn't roasting you guys. Am I that mean? You guys thought I was
Some of you guys are
roasting?
more 60-second comics. That's fine.
That's not what I meant, jerks. All right, Rams, are you still going to go up, Ramses? Hell yeah. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set the mic down here, and then you guys will give an update. Pass that to him. Louis will get an update so I can run the music because I got a softball game anyway. And then Louis, actually, I'll have you come over here, Austin. Louis, you're going to close this show out whenever you guys want because I have a softball game in 20 minutes.
Well, he said he's going to leave soon, too. So I'll just do 45 minutes in front of nobody. That's what I'm going to do.
We'll wrap away for that.
Hey, Adam, can you ask your staff to give me another 349, please? Yeah. Thank you. Or 394. Sorry, for a second I thought Tony Gwynn wasn't as good as he was.
I would kill for another White Claw as well, if that's... Update on the game.
Update on the game. It
You're
is
the only
10
one
to
who knows how
7
to do that.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, anybody who's tuning in to learn about football is deeply
Pissed.
disappointed.
Yeah,
it is
they're
10 to
pissed.
7 Pittsburgh, but we appear to have a Cincinnati situation. They're marching down. They just intercepted Rodgers, which, poor ex-Packer. Now Cincinnati's marching down.
I was going to say, whoever this guy is
Chase Brown.
Chase Brown. Never heard the name.
Chase Brown, he had a good year last year, struggling this year, but he just gained about 30 some odd yards. They're at the 39, marching with 3:39 remaining in the half. We're not allowed to give play-by-play, but there's going to be a flag thrown.
Are they going to demonetize us?
I don't know. But there's a flag thrown, and I have the fantasy. That guy is on my fantasy team. I'd rather just let him catch it. Let him catch
start
it.
that sentence
Let him
differently.
catch it.
I have a fantasy.
I have a fantasy about Jamar Chase.
Yeah, so you got to do better, dude. No, I think this is the best way to do a sports podcast. Someone who doesn't know anything, just watching it with someone who knows stuff. That's better.
Oh,
That's
I thought
way
you were
better.
implying I know nothing.
No,
I was
know
like, I don't know
nothing. Me,
much.
like,
but-
whoever this guy is, yeah.
All right, so Ramses, are you going to come up and do your time now?
Sick.
Intro. Our next comedian is a guy who's dropping the ball on the microphone situation. Let's make it loud for Ramses.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, my name's Ramses. You know, like that Pharaoh guy we all learned about in history class, Ramses the Great. I'm Ramses the Okay. You know, I never built any pyramids, never owned any slaves. Not saying slaves are what make you great or anything. Just want to get that out there. The extra hands do help, though. Let's be honest. You know, especially if you're trying to build a big triangle in the sand. But yeah, I don't like slavery. You know, that's bad. Clap twice if you don't like slavery either. All right, that was 4 of you. That's good. I mean, there's only like 5 people here, so there's like 80%. but yeah, that's me. I guess I was like some bad guy in the Bible or whatever, but realistically speaking, I gave a bunch of Jews jobs. So that's helpful for the ancient Egyptian economy. But yeah, Bible is cool. I recently graduated from college, so that was cool. Yeah, it was thank you. I was high as fuck most of the days, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, it was a Catholic liberal arts school, So that's kind of interesting. Well, what that basically means is they touch you and you don't learn anything. So yeah, no, I'm Josh, and I'm just kidding. I did learn stuff. I got a bachelor's degree in media, So what that means is in like 3 months, I'm gonna become a substitute teacher and make money that way. So that'll be cool. But as I mentioned, I'd smoked weed. I used to smoke weed, not anymore, But because of that, I kind of became like a Jew on Saturday about weed. Like my thinking is that like, say a goy smokes weed and the weed air is like nearby my respiratory system, and I happen to inhale that weed smoke. Technically, I'm not relapsing. But yeah, speaking of Jews, I was at Disneyland not too long ago, and I accidentally ruined a family vacation I got separated from the fam, and I ended up having to leave the park and like buying a phone charger at some other store. But my family, they were kind of worried about me, So they asked a park employee to help them find their lost boy, and the employee had to tell them, "Yeah, sorry, we can't help you if your son's like 25. You're gonna have to figure that one on your own." And fair, valid. So my family, they got together and they were like, "All right, what if we tell the employees that our son's retarded? Then they might have a magical heart." I don't know. Oh, fucking. But back to the religious studies. I've always gone to Christian school or like Sunday school. I did that as a kid. That was cool, but it was boring as hell. It's just like a bunch of Mexican ladies that barely know English trying to teach you prayers and stuff. And I wanted something to happen, like some kind of field trip or whatever. I'd pray to God for it. I'd be like, God, I'd kill to like do something different. And then eventually the good Lord answered my prayers, and we got to go to a field trip, cross the way from the classroom to the church for a funeral, because one of the classmates had died. And we all went to that. And yeah, it sounds bad, I guess, but it's like, I'm sure he's a good kid. He probably did the point of the class, he got to go to heaven or something. I mean, it'd suck if he got sent to hell, I don't know what a kid would have to do to go to hell, but I don't think that happened. But yeah, all right, one more. Tell me what you think of this one. I was talking to this old gay guy the other day, and he was like, "Back in my day, the parade happened in your mouth." All right, that's it. All right, thank you. Yeah.
Give it up for Ramsey.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you want to start off, Austin?
Yeah, I can start off, dude. I think you're very funny. Yeah, that's the full. No. I don't know, man. I like your style a lot. I think that there's so much room to go deeper into a lot of those jokes. First of all, I don't think you have nearly enough material on slavery. Okay. I think you could. No, I'm joking. But like just the Catholic liberal art school, like that could be a whole. I don't know, especially with your style. I think you could crush that. the bit about the you being lost but you're too old to get help. I think you could go deeper into that. Like, how dumb do I have to be for you to help you? You know what I mean? Like, I think it'd be a whole thing of your mom's like, how stupid does he have to be for you to help me? You know what I mean? How dumb does he? You want to see a report card? Help me find this kid. You know, I think there's a whole bit there. But I think you're really good at finding the funny, and your demeanor is just naturally like you won't even be saying much. You'll be like humming, and it's just like funny. You know.
Yeah, I think consider like analogies too, because like when you were talking about how we can't help find your kid if he's 25, like my thought went to like how you lose your parents' health care plan at 26. Yeah. And so like wait, so I can be on their health care, but you can't get a search party going for me? I don't know. And then the Ramsey stuff, you're lucky. I always say that people who have names like that or something about them, like you're lucky that you can dig into that. I almost feel like instead of going with Ramsey's the okay, like you can flip it at some point and be like, wait a second, this guy owned slaves. This guy like finds shit about him that wasn't great and be like, I feel like I'm Ramsey's the Great. Like, and talk about the things that you're doing in the modern world that beat what somebody was doing 6,000 years ago. I feel like that's a flip. And you can do both. Like you can start with Ramsey's the okay and then turn it to, you can dig a little deeper into that. And then there was something, you said that joke about giving people jobs, giving Jews jobs. Yeah, I feel like job security is a funnier concept. Like slaves have the best job security, you would think, right?
Yeah,
they're not going to lose their
they're
job.
They're not worried about the unemployment rates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They struggle. Are you Jewish? Okay,
Okay, then maybe cool it on all the Jew jokes. I don't know.
I was gonna say you're Jewish earlier in the set, but never mind, dude. You do have balls, dude. They
No,
were right.
Ramses is a great comic. The
very
first time
funny,
I heard you, I heard you in open mic, but then I heard you the night that Jason Collins headlined here, and Jason let you come up and do 5, and you crushed. And you did great. And so, just keep writing, keep doing it. You got a great persona, and Anything else?
No. Do you ever do sets anywhere else? Do you mainly do here?
At the Comedy Palace when that was.
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
no. So no is the answer. He's like at a comedy club that closed 5 years ago.
But you've
Yeah,
been doing
you
it
know.
a while then, because that closed a while ago. Yeah. Oh, cool, man. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
should.
I feel
You
you,
should
dude.
work on it, man.
Yeah,
you
you
have a
should-
natural aptitude,
You're
so
very
work on it.
That's the thing. You don't see very many people that are like naturally funny
Yeah.
at open mics or shows, like at all. Yeah.
Or you don't find people who are unnaturally funny either. There's a lot of unfunny people, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you have it, work on it.
Yeah.
Work on it. But anyways, give it up for Ramses, everybody, so he can go back and work the board, and Adam can go play softball.
It'd be way funnier if we could find a live feed to Adam's game, put that on the TV.
Oh
and
my God!
commentate that.
Now
I would kill for
there's the
that.
podcast, Adam, watching you
Yeah.
play softball. Are you the angry like if somebody misses a cutoff man, are you yelling at him, Adam? Is that your style? Okay, okay. I feel like when you were young, you were that guy, though, right?
Did you have a temper? Yeah.
Well, we got a 2-minute warning, by the way. The Bengals, while Ramses was up here, the Bengals went ahead with a long pass to T. Higgins, and so they're ahead 14-10 now. Aaron Rodgers trying to lead a charge here.
He looks so high all the time.
Yeah, he sounds so high all the time. Have you heard him talk?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he is so. He's trying to sound so smart all the time. I can't do it. I, don't
I
know
have
what else
never
to
been
say.
more annoyed watching a documentary
He's
than
so
watching that documentary.
egotistical. Me and my girlfriend,
Yeah.
and I don't smoke that much. We smoked a little bit and watched it, and I was like, this guy's the worst. He's trying to tell you how to be like spiritual. He got on the same train my girlfriend I dated when I was 21 got on, where they just use huge words from India and then just make you feel stupid.
So a lot of people when they're high, because I don't smoke, I'm very clean. I don't do drugs except for a little alcohol here and there.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people who are high, they make me want to be high. I'll hear them and I'll be like, that sounds awesome. That sounds a lot of fun. When he talks, I'm like, I never want to be high ever. I just
Yeah.
want to be totally sober.
But when he talks sober, you're like, I don't want to be that.
Yeah, I don't want to be
You
that
know
either.
What I mean?
Yeah.
You just
Maybe
don't
that's
wanna
all the
be-
getting tackled by
Yeah.
300-pound men for
you
his
just
entire
don't want to
adult.
be Aaron Rodgers.
I
That's
don't want to
the
be Aaron
thing.
Rodgers. And part of this is just sheer bitterness that he beat the Bears literally like 95% of the time.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to sound like an asshole like him.
Yeah,
He just got a first down. That's what's happening here. We have less than a minute left. They called a timeout, and we're taking some water. We're getting some Gatorade.
Yeah. He went to a community college too, so he's
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Oh,
he went
okay.
to a community college and then played
And then
out. He was
Cal?
like unoffered, yeah, in Cal, and then he went to Cal.
Okay.
But I remember that that was the only part of the documentary I liked. He's what I thought I was gonna be when I enrolled.
Yeah. I played at a Division III school, and I somehow thought I was going to be Derek Jeter. That
yeah.
didn't work out. Here I am.
Yeah.
I'm right here.
I literally thought I was gonna go to Duke from a JC. I
Yeah.
was like, this will be cake. Dude.
But now we're doing comedy, and we think we're going to be getting Netflix specials while we're sitting in a room
We're
full of
almost doing
5 people. At 500. It's sold out. Don't look behind you, everybody.
I forget they're here.
Yeah, I forgot they were here. I thought we were just talking into
I know.
microphones. This is, by the way, how me and Austin hang out at my house, too,
Yeah.
when we're hanging out. We have microphones and looking out.
Someone's bringing us White Claws. It's sick.
Can I say, and Austin said it, I have a great deal of respect for the gentleman who got up here and did comedy in a room like this, because open mics, I hated when that was my comedy world.
Yeah.
When it was only open mics. I hated, and sometimes I would have a decent, crowd.
Yeah.
The hardest thing in the world is to do comedy in front of, less than 10 people.
That was my biggest hurdle I had to get over.
Yeah.
Is getting into my own on stage. That's why I commented on it, because it didn't feel like he was adjusting to the room at all. He engaged us.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I was like, dude, I could not have done that.
Yeah.
Maybe right now I could not have done that.
Was that Chris? Was that your question about? You asked about pivoting for the room. Was that you? Yeah. One thing that I wanted to say, and Adam more or less said it. I think there's 4 stages. From the beginning stage of open micing, I don't think you should ever pivot. I think you should be on stage, working on your type 5, getting better at the exact same set, give or take a few jokes here and there when you feel like you find something else, and really trying to find who you are for a long time. Then when you get to that point where maybe you have a solid 10 or 15, it's okay to pivot here and there at bar shows that there's something weird in the air.
And there's at bar shows a lot of times, shows like that, I won't pivot on purpose to try to be an undeniable thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when it's an opportunity,
Yeah.
it's a big show, I will pivot 100%.
See, I'm the opposite.
Really? Well, if it's an opportunity,
When it's a
I'm
big show, I just stick to who I am.
Really? Well, because I guess I have out of the stuff that's at the same quality I've gotten it to, I have 20 minutes, and it's if I'm doing a 10-minute set,
Yeah.
and I have 2 8 out of 10 bits, but I see it's an older crowd, I'm doing my mom stuff.
Okay.
Over my sex jokes. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
And so it's I will pivot opportunity basis, because I want to crush and I want this crowd to leave. But at bar shows, a lot of times I'll do the stuff I think they're gonna hate just to see if I can make them.
Yeah,
like it. You know what
yeah.
I mean? It's
Well,
which is weird. We have opposite things on that.
I think you get to that point where, because I remember Brian Simpson, who started in San Diego. Anybody, the 3 of you watching online, who go check him out if you don't know who Brian Simpson is. Those of you in the room, check him out. He's on Netflix.
Great writer, yeah.
He's incredible. But I got to hang out with him in Portland a few years ago. It was kind of funny. I didn't know him that well from San Diego. We just had run into each other a few times. And I was doing shows in Portland, and I'm driving to a show, and I see him on a street corner just looking at his phone, confused as all hell. And so
saw him
I
there?
sent him a message on Instagram. I was like, hey, man, are you on this show? And the show I was on, and he said, yeah. So I went and picked him up, and I got to hang out I drove him to a few
That's
shows.
crazy.
And stuff.
You just saw him.
I just saw him, and he was, and we hung out. We drove to shows together, and he said something to me that night about, he's like, you got to get to a point where you stop thinking your jokes are funny, and you think you're funny. And to me, I'm like, when you get to his level, that's when you can kind of be in a room and pivot based on what's happening. But for me, I'm at a level where my writing is what defines me still, and I'm still trying to find who I am. So a lot of times on a bigger show, I stick to my set unless there's something compelling that pulls me away. If something happens in the room, if somebody comments up front. This weekend I did shows with Orny, and there was a guy up front that was saying some stuff, and I pivoted, and it worked. I got the whole room on something. But yeah, I think that Gary Goldman, did you ever read his tweets when he did the Year of Tweets?
No, I didn't read. I've seen a few of them that people
Look them up.
reposted,
You
but
can
yeah.
find them. And everybody in the crowd who wants to do comedy, Gary Goldman in 2020, I think it was, every day for a year, tweeted advice to upcoming comics about stand-up comedy. And one of the things that he said that I loved was more or less, I'm going to paraphrase it poorly, but it was more or less, you can win the night by figuring out what's in the room and getting laughs, or you can find your actual fans by being who you are on stage. And at the end of the day, when you start selling tickets in comedy, which is down the road for all of us,
yeah.
but when you start selling tickets, people aren't buying tickets because of your jokes. They're buying tickets because of you. And so when you start getting a persona on stage that people really want to hear more about, that I really try to be myself on stage, even if the room looks like it's not going to like me.
And that makes writing.
And a lot of times they don't.
And that makes writing so much easier, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was saying about how you feel. It's like once I started writing about how I felt about stuff, and I wasn't trying to be right, and I wasn't trying to be like anything specific, writing just flowed out of me. And it was so much fun versus like trying to do like insert an analogy here because that might be fun. You know what I mean?
Well,
which I'm a big analogy guy. I use them more than anything.
That's
but
my favorite. My
it's
favorite jokes
when
are
I'm trying
analogies.
to explain how I truly feel, the analogies are way funnier.
Who are your inspirations? People ask me
Bill
this all the
Burr.
time, and I don't have a good answer. Who are your inspirations?
Bill Burr is my biggest one.
Bill?
He was the one that I watched and I wrote for 2 years before. I never even thought I wanted to do comedy.
Yeah.
But I wrote Bill Burr, and I was like, oh, I think and speak like that in real life. And then I just wrote. I was like, I just want to write that. That just is fun for me. And then for 2 years, and then I took mushrooms. I was like, oh, you're being a which is the most hippie thing. I'm not even like that kind of guy. But I
So
just
many
got
comics have the mushroom story.
it's so dumb, and I wish I didn't even say it. But like my girlfriend's like, let's try mushrooms. So I did it to just be out in the woods with my girlfriend, and then I was instantly like, oh, you're being like a total pussy about this. You want to do this so bad. I wasn't even aware of it. I literally mentally didn't even know I wanted to do it, and then I moved down here, lived out of my truck, and 5 years later, I have done comedy almost every day. For
Are you
5
still
years.
driving for Patrick?
Huh? No. I mean, I do every once in a while. He'll put me on a show.
By
and
the
I'm like,
way,
yeah.
anybody in the crowd, there's this amazing comic, local comic named Patrick DeGear, who is legally blind, and
He's very funny.
every year he picks a new local comic to be his chauffeur to get to shows.
Yeah.
And you'll meet. I was his chauffeur for a year,
Yeah.
and then he went to Jeff for a while, Dusty.
I think he's
now-
on Kyle Drake.
He's
now.
on Kyle Drake now.
Yeah.
It's just a funny thing. If you ever meet Patrick DeGear, he needs a driver, and he gets you
Yeah.
into good clubs, and he's a
Well,
really good
the
dude.
thing is, when you start comedy, it's hard to get on shows. You're trying to get on better shows and trying to get connections. And when someone's like, I'll put you on like 30, 40 shows a year, but you have to drive down to the Mexico border every time and then drive me up to Temecula and then back to the Mexico border.
And you have to listen to me talk on the phone the entire time
He's
to
on
someone
Instagram.
else.
He's on Instagram. What does this mean? Yeah.
Oh, I love Patrick
No,
DeGear.
he's
Patrick,
very funny.
if for some weird reason you're watching, I still owe you dinner, and I love you very much.
I'm very close with Patrick. I love Patrick.
No, this is a weird journey, comedy, and so a lot of times, for me, inspiration-wise, it's funny you say what you said about how you were being a pussy about it, because for me it was like almost the opposite. I just didn't think like to me, stand-up comedians were celebrities. They were above me. Like Jerry Seinfeld was the first person I was aware of that was a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
And then Norm Macdonald. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, well, I can't do that. I'm not at that level. And so I was writing fiction. I was writing short stories and getting them published. And I was sick of waiting for feedback. And somebody's like, why don't you try this? And I was like, I can just do that?
Well, my college major was all writing, and I had some papers published. But like, I think that stemmed from the same thing that put me in comedy, where I felt misunderstood all the time.
Yeah.
I was constantly trying to explain my thoughts. Like, I grew up with just my mom and my sister, and I felt like I was I would say something, and they'd be like, that's crazy, and I'd be so frustrated explaining myself. Same things with my friends. And then when I wrote, I was like, okay, they have to read this whole paper. By the end, they're going to know I'm right. You know what I mean? And I loved doing that. And then you get on stage, and I can go up there with a feeling that I objectively know is wrong.
Yeah.
But I feel that way. I know it's wrong, but I can sit there and explain it in a way that they can't argue it, and that's where a lot of my funny comes from. Is here's this thing that I feel, and I acknowledge, I know this
That's
is
very
wrong.
Bill. That's very Bill Burr.
Yeah, I know this is wrong, but here's why I feel it, and no one can argue with the reasons. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of my funny comes from.
I'd like by the way, for those of you who came in, we had some open micers earlier come up and do their sets, and we got to comment on them. And what I liked about something that you said, he mentioned to, I think it was Chris. We're talking a lot about you, Chris. You're a memorable guy. But he said something about you can go into filthy topics, but if you talk about how you feel more than what's happening, it ends up not being as filthy. And this is something that, as somebody who's a clean comic, my special was for Dry Bar, which was an organization run out of Provo, Utah. Very Mormon.
Yeah, and it's a cool thing, too.
It's a cool
Yeah.
thing. When I film my special, though, literally, my wife and I are out in Provo, Utah. I filmed 2 30 minutes that night, and I wanted to go out and celebrate with a beer. There is no beer anywhere near there. I like tapped someone on the shoulder, and they turned around, and I'm pretty sure he was like 17. And I was like, "You're not going to be able to help me, are you?"
Yeah.
Find alcohol. But point being is that being clean, I don't think my thoughts are clean. I think the way I relate to what I talk about is clean.
Yeah, interesting. Because I was going to ask you that, because that's what I struggle with. It's like, I'm trying to be myself. I don't think clean. You know what I mean? I don't think clean at all. Like, but how I feel people relate to.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, my clean, I have a ton of clean material.
Yeah.
But it's on accident.
Yeah.
Like, my stuff about my mom, I had a very young mom, and people tell me not to argue with her. And I'm like, she had me at 17. I'm like a father to her. That's like a whole 10-minute bit that I have. But it's like, it's accidentally clean. You know? And then I have a bit about, like I said, like my girlfriend and not being able to make her whatever.
Yeah.
And then, but the whole bit is about like, how are you blaming me if you know what I mean? It's like how it's kind of a funny thing where it's all gets into my feelings. Where if it's dirty, the first punchline is going to be dirty, and then it like opens them up, and after that, nothing's dirty.
Well, that's the thing about
You
dirty
know?
comedy, though.
Yeah.
Dirty, it's not that it's bad. I love dirty comedy, but it's that once you go dirty, you can't come back. Like,
Yeah.
if you have, and that's why, as a clean comic, if I headline and somebody features for me and they're dirty,
Yeah.
my job is very hard.
Yeah.
And now, having said that, a really good comedian doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, Jerry
I see what
Seinfeld
you mean.
never cared what
Yeah.
someone before him did.
But in the really good comedians, because you were saying something earlier I wanted to comment on about what Brian said. What did he say?
Simpson said, you need to stop thinking your jokes are funny and
Yeah,
start
and think
thinking
you're
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
And I think that opens the door to bombing without an ego so much more.
Oh,
Because Brian, Louis, CK, they have the worst bombs I've heard of anyone in comedy, and they'll do it for an hour without pivoting because they know their ideas are funny. They know just the words they're using to describe them are wrong because they believe they are funny.
Yeah.
They don't believe they're writing. They believe they are funny. So they know what funny is. That's their North Star. I can bomb for 2 years. This will be funny because I know this idea.
Do you know Joe Grillo?
What's that?
Do you know Joe Grillo?
Yeah.
Joe Grillo, who is a San Diego comic who lives out in Austin now, I
Very
think.
funny, yeah.
Look him up, too. He's super funny. But he was bartending at the Comedy Store one night, and we were just kind of talking comedy. And I don't even think Joe, I don't know, maybe he likes me. He doesn't seem like he likes me. But
He doesn't seem like it.
and I don't mean as a person. It's just he doesn't seem like he thinks my comedy is that funny because he's a really funny comic
Yeah.
in a different way. But he made a comment one night about how when he became better was when he just started taking risks on stage. And, like, if you're on stage and like, we told you, Chris, to try to be a little cleaner, but, like, take the risks now. Take them now because when you're in front of people and you need to impress a club owner, that's when you need to be a little bit more, okay, let's make sure I'm doing my best here, you know? And I don't know, like, I one of my goals in the next year of comedy is to take more risks. I want to bomb more. I want to go on stage, and I've been trying. It's been working. I've been doing new material and trying stuff.
Mine's similar, where it's like, because risks is probably the same, but it's like, for me, I always go back to how I feel. Sometimes I water that down to make the crowd like me.
Yeah.
Where I'm more worried about them liking me than me being funny. And so mine is, I want to be more direct and like honest about like what I think. I think I'll be funnier at my best, but I'll be worse at my worst. I want to get those bombs. I want to make.
I agree with you on like just on a life level.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. Yeah, that's a good
I
point,
have a
yeah.
problem being a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I want people to feel okay. And Bill Burr is a good example of somebody who he doesn't give a shit how you feel about his
Yeah.
first statement.
Exactly.
He's going to go into it. And what I love about Bill Burr, if you don't watch enough Bill Burr, go. He'll say something that there's no way that a sane person would hear and agree with based on his first sentence. But by sentence number 10, you're like, why do I agree with this all of a sudden? Like, he's amazing at doing that.
He's the best.
At getting you to agree with a heinous thought based on, like, logic.
Well, because he doesn't water it down at all.
Yeah.
He's giving you the honest thing that you're not even honest with yourself that you think. And
Yeah.
that's why when you watch Bill in
That's
an
why my
inter-
wife hates him.
Yeah, exactly.
My wife can't stand
But
Bill Burr.
yeah, But if you watch Bill in an interview, it sounds like pre-written bits that he's done 100 times
Yeah.
because he's doing the same thing he does on stage. He's just being honest.
Yeah.
And when you're honest, you can justify it so succinctly that you don't have to. He's always that funny. That's the most impressive thing is off stage, he is just as funny to me as his specials.
I agree.
That's
how I found
yeah.
out about him was off stage, actually, like
Really?
interviews and stuff.
Really?
I didn't really know his stand-up. By the way, those of you who are here, welcome. This is called Halftime Hacks. We're supposed to be talking about the Thursday night football game as we're talking about comedy as
Yeah,
well.
we're talking about stand-up
There's
comedy.
an open mic, and we're just doing a little, those of you watching online, we're probably going to stick around for a little bit longer. It's
Yeah.
halftime. We are the Halftime Hacks now. I believe the Bengals are winning, was it 14-10?
25 minutes ago. It was
Something like
14
that.
to 10, yeah.
So the Dodgers already won. I can't tell what's going on in the Mariners game. Can you tell?
They don't have the score up right now.
No score up right now. We are two local comics who are, we go on the road from time to time. I'm Louis Centani,
I'm Austin Traffilet.
Austin Traffilet. Any comics in the crowd? We could do a little Q&A. Anybody have questions? Or if you're not a comic, we don't judge. Does anybody have any questions they
Does
want to
anyone
know?
watch comedy?
I see a hand over there. Oh, yeah. So this is, and your name's John, correct? For those who are watching at home, his question was, do we practice in the mirror to get timing and beats down on our sets? Austin, I don't know how you want to start?
I can start. For me, I need to know exactly, and I'm just repeating myself like crazy. If I can say how I feel, even a 3-minute bit, it'll have like a succinct 4-word thesis. If I know how I feel about this thing, I can get to the same punches every time. So that's what I'm working on, is making sure they all relate to the same thing. And then I rant on the topic. I don't repeat the same exact thing. I rant and just try to make sure I'm hitting the same punchlines every time.
Thank you.
Which is kind of a weird way to do it. But that's how I write, is I say, like, I think X, and it's like people say this, and I don't think, and I just make sure I'm getting to the same hits every time. And even when I do it on stage, it's very different. Like, if you were to watch me do 5 sets, you'll hear the same punchlines in the bit, but how I get there might be different, or my energy might be way different, but I'm getting to the same
But when you're
spots.
practicing, do you practice, or do you just generate it on stage, or do you practice it somewhere else?
No, like, when I write, it's verbal. It's out loud.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and that's a
and
concept.
so, yeah, the answer is yes.
Some
but I'm not
comics write on
repeating it.
stage.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you write on stage.
Yeah, well, I don't even think it's right. Even when the bit's finalized, I get to the punchlines in different ways every single time.
Okay.
So it's a lot of just knowing what my points are.
Okay.
And sometimes, like, I feel differently about it. Sometimes the set's gone a certain way and I'm getting to them quicker. Sometimes it's longer and I'm, like, explaining more and I might find a punchline. But I do. The short answer is yes. Like, it's not in the mirror, but it is. I have a giant whiteboard where it's in front of the whiteboard, and I'm out loud, like, making my point. And as I'm doing that, something new might come out on accident, you know. But it's not like I'm like reading and repeating necessarily.
There's a comic friend of mine in town named James Hancock who's very funny, and James, I know, tells me he does it in the shower. He says I don't know what else he does in the shower, but he told me that he has like a mirror where he looks at himself in the shower, and he practices his set there. I don't know if he still does it. That was back when we started. I've never been able to do that. Like, for me, it's very much about the moment. I have to be in front of people, and so I need at least one person. So I often go to my wife, who is the biggest critic in the history of time about stand-up comedy. Like, my wife will tell me to my face, and it hurts if something is not funny. She'll be like, that sucked. And at first I hated that, and I would defend myself. What I've learned over the years is if you have someone who's that honest with you in your life, you're very lucky.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my best bits really grew because my wife was like, that's not good. You need to think of something better. And I did, because I need to make her laugh. She's the one that I live with and I go to sleep with.
Yeah.
So no is my answer, but also we do practice off stage, I guess, is going to be the answer to that. I don't generate everything on stage.
I think a lot of people, like, when you start, you're really worried about what everyone else is doing. And then when you fall into a groove, that gets completely out of your mind. Like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that does what he does, but, like, if I talk to someone who I know is a critic before a bit's develop, I shut down and I can't think as well. You know what I mean? I'm like predictive.
It
of
has
them,
to be the
not
right
like
person, because
yeah.
my best friend,
Yeah.
when I talk to him, he shuts me down, and I don't feel the same sort of generative feeling from
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, for me, like the only way I can be truly creative is without criticism. So I just do that alone, you know? And then I'm like, oh, that's what I meant. I didn't think of that in front of them. And then I'll like run the final product by them. But like for the writing aspect, I can't. But I know other people that do. Like all my friends do it that way
Yeah.
too, where they'll call me and like run bits by me. But I
Yeah.
don't ever run bits by them because I'm not good at it.
No, and great question, John.
Yeah.
If you have questions about comedy or football, we'll take them both. Yeah,
Yeah.
go. Okay, that's an interesting term, baselined, because like my best jokes I've told probably 800 times, and they still grow and they still evolve. But baseline meaning like I feel like confident in that, and I'm gonna go to it. I think I know after about 5 or 6 times if a joke is really good. Because here's the thing. You can get on stage and tell a joke and get a huge laugh and still have no idea if it's good. Because maybe the crowd was just really in a good mood, especially at certain clubs. I don't know how you feel. When I'm at the Comedy Store, I never trust that feedback because they're
Yeah.
always in a good mood in
Yeah.
the crowd.
For me, it's not an amount of times. It's until the joke gets to a point where it makes me laugh. Once it and that's like my cue on everything is when I'm bombing a lot, I'm trying to make the crowd laugh. But I truly at least feel unstoppable when my material makes me laugh. Because when I'm laughing and they're not, in my head, I genuinely think they're just not getting, and I can just tell them why I'm laughing. I'll never bomb because I can always keep explaining why I'm laughing. And then I get tags from that and I can write from that. But like the bit's baselined when I'm laughing at it. Because the bit starts as
That's
an
interesting.
idea I think is funny, but the words aren't. So I'm saying it and it's not making me laugh and it's not fluid and it's not that. But when it's flowing out of me and I'm laughing at the idea, that's when that bit goes into like the show stuff.
Now, let me ask you this, because I have a problem where I get tired of my jokes pretty fast.
Yeah.
And so, like, for me, if I waited until I thought something was funny, and now it's baseline, it would take me another week before I was... So many of my jokes, I thought they were funny at first.
Yeah.
And then I have maybe 4 jokes that I tell that every time I tell them, I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
You're going to love this. And when people don't laugh at those 4 jokes, I get pissed. Because I'm like, oh, you guys are stupid if you don't think that is funny. But I have a lot of jokes that still go great every time I tell them. And in my head, I'm like, why are you laughing? Like, I'm tired of this joke.
Yeah, I don't know. My stuff is all like stuff that a lot of it's relieving. Like a lot of it's arguments I've had with every girlfriend I've had in my entire life that I've lost. And so, like when the crowd's laughing at it or I'm on stage getting the opportunity to justify it to silent people, it's like, it's the funniest thing to me. Like truly, it is. And it's like, if it's not funny, I change it. Like I've had a bit, like my community college bit, I've had that for 3 years. It's the best it's ever been. And I haven't intentionally written on it in 2 years.
The reason I love what you just said is because so much of comedy, it really, when you think about great comedy, it's comedians justifying something we all kind of feel on the inside. My favorite bit to talk about this is when Louis C.K. did the bit about how great it is to be white. If you know the being white bit by Louis C.K., you know
He's
this.
one
But
of the best
if you don't,
comedians
look it
ever,
up.
yeah.
It's one of the greatest written bits ever because he says all these things that you know. What he's really saying is, boy, there's a
Easy.
lot of ease in
It's
being
easy,
white.
yeah.
But the way he phrases it is he puts it in these words that make you, as the person living it, whether you're white or not, see exactly what he's talking. We relate to it
Yeah.
in such a visceral way. And so, like, I could see him having that conversation with somebody who tells him his life was easy,
Yeah.
and him trying to justify, and then him realizing, no, you know what, you're right, this is pretty easy.
Yeah, and it's not an insult.
So having the argument with somebody on stage,
Yeah.
that's an interesting way of putting
Well,
it.
because I'm working on this bit right now, and it's my favorite bit ever, and it's not even funny yet.
What's
It's-
it about? Tell us.
Well, it's every argument. So like, I really think that like talking shit to people, you have to be way closer to them than when you're not. Like you see those friend groups that are just nice to each other, right? And I see those and I pity them. I'm like, those people haven't even met each other yet. You know what I mean? And it's like there's something about how mean my friends and I are to each other that shows like this level of trust and all this. And with every girlfriend I have, I make the mistake of like trying to like bring them into that, and I talk shit to them. And then
How old are you?
I'm 31.
31. Okay. I'm just curious.
Too old to be doing it. I
No,
know.
no, because the friend group I agree with. The girlfriend thing, I'm like, the reason my wife loved me was because I didn't try to bring her into my friend group.
Well, no, I don't bring her into the friend group, but I like interact with her that way because to me that's what closeness is where my words don't matter to you. You know me well enough to know how I mean everything. You know I adore you, so I can call you anything, and you just know off the top. And so I have this whole bit about like how like I mean in like the nicest way, and how like the love that comes out of it. Like one of the lines is like, only I can call Brennan like fat and ugly because he's like ripped and he's I know he's not. I can make fun of him for being poor because I was there in his childhood. I knew he grew up
So
rich.
if he was fat and ugly, you wouldn't tell him that?
Yeah, no, probably not. I mean, I might. But like I know he's not insecure about being poor, but I never call Brennan stupid because he's fucking retarded. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't,
It's
you
too
know what I mean?
close. It's too close to home.
It's
Yeah.
too like, and then I have some bits about her and her friend, and it's like it's not even funny yet, but it's my favorite bit
Yeah.
because I know it will be, and it's I just have never been able to make that point to anyone before.
Well, the bit that did the best on my special was something that I remember maybe the third or fourth time I told it. I was at Madhouse downtown, and I told the joke, and I got off stage, and one of my comic friends was like, "You got to stop telling that joke. It's stupid." And I was like, "I think I'm going to find it someday."
Yeah.
And it took me 2 years to find it. Gary Goldman says that bit he does on the state abbreviations that he did on Conan,
Yeah.
he said that took him like 18 years to master. And so, like, never give up on these bits that you believe can be funny.
Well,
I have a bit right now that I'm working on that stemmed from I was caretaking this 93-year-old man, and he was a little homophobic, as a lot of older people can be at
Yeah.
times. And he was talking about how he wished we could go back to an era where things just weren't gay. and he mentioned the 1980s. And about like 3 days later, I happened to be watching Rocky
Back when
3.
Kiss was, yeah.
And I'm watching Apollo Creed and Rocky dance together in the ocean during that
Yeah.
montage. I was like, this is the gayest thing I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
entire life. And then I just started realizing so much from the 80s was gay.
Yeah.
Like the basketball shorts, very gay. Like the Magic Johnson,
But
how
it
was he
the
staying
gay
in?
he was comfortable with. you
But
know?
it was the decade he was comfortable
Yeah.
with. And so, yeah, no. So my bit is like I try to call out absurdities more than I try to have arguments.
Yeah.
I try to look at like you say this, but do you believe this?
Yeah.
And so many of my jokes are about have you thought about what was really
Yeah.
happening? And I have a ton of jokes about my stepson. And I talk about, hey, parents.
seen those. They're very
are we
funny,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at like, are we looking at this the same way? You
Yeah.
know? I would love to get more. Bill Burr has been a more recent inspiration. Maybe as I'm getting older, I'm getting angrier. I want
always
to get
been-
angry on stage.
I've always been super, like, a lot of my bits, the funny part is my frustration level.
I want to get
Like,
mad.
someone who's
I am mad.
actively wrong but frustrated might be the funniest person ever. Like, I think I'm very good at being wrong, and I'm very good at being frustrated. So, like, with my mom bit, a lot of that came from, like, my friends would come over, and they'd see me and my mom argue, but, like, it's never bad.
Yeah.
But when I grew up, she was in high school. You know, like she didn't know what she was talking about. And they never got that. And so this whole bit about being like a father to your mom came out of that.
Yeah.
And it's like my best bit right now, you know?
This is interesting stuff. These questions lead to a lot. Any other questions? Yeah. Are you talking about me doing stand-up the first time or first time seeing it? Best and worst moment? I mean, I would say the best moment is the fact that I did it in front of 3 people at 1:30 in the morning, and went through it with pride and stuck to it. Worst moment is that I thought it was good, and I've kept that. I have that recording on my phone to this day. If I ever have a bad set, like I was just in this San Francisco comedy competition, and I took 6th place in my round, and only the top 5 advanced out of 16. So like I just missed the cut, and I felt really bad about myself. And I went back and listened to my set that got me eliminated versus my first set ever. And I was like, if you would have told me that night I did my first set that I would one day have a set that sounded like the set I lost on,
Yeah.
I would have just thought, like, I'm going to be so happy if I ever make it to that point. So my worst moment was thinking it was good, but my best moment is keeping it in my phone so I can remind myself of how far I've come. Madhouse. I started at Madhouse in San Diego when it was still in the mall, when it was upstairs for old timers who remember that.
For me, I did a set at the it's just a spot in Ocean Beach that sucked, and I didn't know I was gonna go on stage.
Was it Winston's?
No, it was the OB wrestling house. or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah. But I didn't know I was gonna go on stage. I was talking to the guy who was letting people in, saying I wanted to do comedy, but I was just gonna watch. And then he just called me up there to do it, and he told everyone it was my first time. So I just read notes off my phone that were, I mean, genuinely terrible, horrific stuff. And the crowd was laughing because they were sweet people. Like, they knew it was my first time doing comedy, so they were like applauding after terrible jokes. And I got off stage, and I literally was like braggadocious. I was like I thought I was like, so I had my girlfriend go to my next open mic, and I was like, I'm a comic. I'm like the best comic you'll ever get to see. And it was in a park, after dark, windstorm. She's the only person in the crowd for every comic. I go up last. I do 60 seconds of a 5-minute set the mic on the ground, and we leave. And as I'm leaving, they asked me to help with the speakers. And I just was like,
Was this during COVID?
no, this was just a bad open mic
Oh my
at
God.
Bolt Brewery in La Mesa.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was Gabe Ramirez, who's my good friend now. He was running it.
He's funny.
Yeah, he's very funny, but it was just like horrific. I mean, red-faced, leaving,
Yeah.
performing to just her. Yeah.
So the funny thing about comedy too that you have to realize if you're going to try to do this is that if you think that it's going to be feel good, it doesn't feel good for a long time. It took me. I was the opposite of you. It took me 4 months to tell anyone in my life I was doing it.
Yeah.
I told my best friend. I told 2 best friends, and other than that, I hid it from everyone until I got booked on a show. And yeah, no, like for me, even to this day, like I can do, my wife gets mad at me all the time because I'll do a club and have a great set and I'll come home angry as heck because I didn't get like an applause break now.
Or-
And the goalposts constantly move. You're always, and it didn't occur to me until I was opening for like bigger names and they would just destroy and get off stage and be mad. And I was like, we are all so insecure, and we're constantly like the harshest critics on ourselves.
Well, and I think it's just a goal-oriented thing, because it's like, for me, the stuff that is my go-to stuff, when it does well, I don't even feel it. I feel nothing when
Yeah.
like my best bits do well. But the new bit I slipped in there, if it like even didn't flow super well, I'll be frustrated with an amazing set.
Yeah.
You know, when every other joke hit, and it's just like, yeah, I know that joke would hit. You know, it's just done.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
I do have to jump in like
Okay.
3 minutes.
Austin's got any final questions? I think we're going to wrap it up, even though the game's not over. It's this is my second time doing this podcast. Last time we quit like at halftime, and then
Yeah.
it was like a really exciting game at the end, like a game-winning field goal in overtime ended it. So, yeah. You missed a comment.
The comics have been done for a while, unfortunately.
The way this works is that, this is the way it's supposed to work, is we're trying to create a situation where we're talking about the game, doing a great job, I think, by the way. Do you have any idea what's going on in the game? Neither do I. But at halftime, we bring up comics, and they do 2 to 3 minutes, and we comment on them. So should we bring up comics?
Yeah. Do you want to give it a shot?
You guys want to give him
Take
another
my
set?
spot up here.
Yeah. Is there anybody who has more time? Do you want to do another minute or two? You want to come up? Come on up. We got some people in here. Why not? I got nowhere to be. My wife's out of town. Ask them. Would you want a filthy or clean set?
Yeah. Money make the world go round. I'm trying to get it all right now. Everybody worry about the crown being.
Got another grandma set. Hey, by the way, can I tell you guys that I dig on this way more than like Mystery Sports Center 3000? I mean, hearing you guys do shop talk is so much better than like, talking about the high fiber bowl. So,
But I mean, come on. Like, it's 17-10 in the third quarter. Don't you want to know that?
dude, nobody under his age knows who Joe Flacco even is now. So, I mean, the Steelers are so easy to hate too as a San Diego sports fan.
All right, Chris K, everybody. Chris K is going to go ahead and give us some time.
All right, so what you guys missed is, and I'm just going to bring you up to date. My wife of nearly 25 years and I are home health care providers for my now 104-year-old grandmother with late-stage dementia. And so, it's a source of a lot of material. So this is another 3 minutes I was going to do next week if I didn't feel like a little bit of subtle pushback from Adam about going so filthy, because this is going to get pretty filthy, you guys. So At 104, late-stage dementia, she requires us to help her with a lot of things. You know, she's pretty much not quite an invalid, but she's incontinent. And you're a healthcare provider, by the way?
No, I'm not. I don't know where you got that
You
sense
said,
at all.
You said you cared for a 93. You provided healthcare for.
Oh,
a
I
93-year-old
just
man.
went and took him dinner sometimes.
Oh, that's a sweet thing to do. So you can take my grandma anytime you want. So
No,
anyways,
thank you. After your stories.
Ramses is haunted in his nightmares by these stories. So anyways, you guys, my wife is from India, and she just went back recently to visit her family there. And that left me alone for the first time, trying to take care of my 104-year-old grandmother. So we got a nurse to come in and help me about half the time, but I still had to take her in the other half the time. And the problem is when you get her in the bathroom, and apparently this is a common thing with older people with dementia, especially late-stage dementia, is they want to touch themselves in their privates all the time. And so, you know, we call it pants handing, and it's usually a two-person job to keep my 104-year-old grandma from pants handing, especially when she's on the toilet. So with my wife going back to India, we needed a solution. And so we, you know, kind of like wrapped our heads together and we thought, okay, we have this arm bar around the toilet in the guest room that we take her into. So it's soft and padded. What if we can restrain her arms while I'm dealing with her by myself? The problem is at 104, you can't use any restraint, like zip ties or something like that, because shit starts to fall off if you put enough pressure. So we looked and we did find there is one type of product, one type of restraint that's guaranteed not to hurt you, because the inside of the cuffs are lined with fur. That is correct. I bought not one, but 2 pairs of BDSM handcuffs for my 104-year-old grandma. So they came in 3 nights before my wife was set to bail. We take her into the bathroom, we try it, and it's a nightmare because they have these little, I'm not into that shit, so this is new to me, but they have these little belts and buckles, and you know, when you're fighting someone that has the feral grip strength of an 84-pound baboon, it gets kind of difficult. So, you know, we realized it wasn't going to work. Plus, the chain connecting the cuffs was so long she could still access herself. So now we have 2 nights before my wife's going back to India, and we're like, fuck, what are we going to do? And so we found these restraints that are like neoprene and Velcro, and apparently they're used in like some weightlifting context or in gyms, and I wouldn't know because I don't go into gyms, but it turns out they're really effective. So the last night before my wife left, we put those things on, and I have a restraint. The problem is that now I have not one, but 2 pairs of BDSM handcuffs, one lightly ringed in Coos Juice, that I bought off Amazon that I have to return. And so sometime in the next week before that deadline, I got to go to Staples and stand in line with not one, but 2 pairs of BDSM handcuffs, one lightly ringed in Coos Juice. Get judged by everybody else in line making Amazon returns. Get up there and get judged by the Staples employee when I put them on the counter, to which then I'm going to have to say, it's not what you think. They're for my 104-year-old grandma. Welcome to my life, guys.
Hey, well done, Chris
Thanks
K.
for letting me get out of my system so I don't do
Oh.
that in front of Adam.
I thought that was less dirty by like miles in the first set.
I do. I think
Yeah.
that you found a way to make. So just so you guys know, who weren't here for his first set, apparently a lot of his material is about 104-year-olds masturbating. That's his primary. That's his primary
niche.
well that he goes into. But I agree that felt less dirty than the last one. Yeah, it is literally the well she goes into. I don't want to know what your audience is going to be like if you ever take off. Like when my first joke that like hit on my Dry Bar special was about getting a mammogram. A lot of women in their 60s would come to my shows and want to hear it. You're going to have just demented people touching themselves in the front row. Can't wait. Jesus. Yeah, what's up?
Well, it's my grandmother, not hers, but yeah, no, she helped me. She helped me that because she was going to be back in India for 3 weeks. She just came back yesterday morning, as a matter of fact. And yeah, no, it was, I needed her assistance.
Why not
Relatable comedy is what this is all about.
Why not just let her get it done? Like, like what is the crime here?
Can I answer that? Because, I mean, the problem is, and, you know, they get impacted the older you get. And I'm 56 now, so I'm starting to deal with this shit. She's like twice my age. But this is going to get gross if I say real about it. But they have to try.
I love how he keeps prefacing like he's not going to say it. He keeps going, this is going to get gross, and he knows he's going to say it.
100%. But no, they do what's called digging. And so because she's impacted, and what we found was because of the pants handing, both what I was talking about earlier, 100%
Pants
true
handing.
story.
I like that term. I think it's a good term.
Well, plus it's gross, dude. I mean, all of a sudden now you got
middle
like
school
you know, she's flinging fecal matter like a zoo monkey, and you know, Coos Juice everywhere. It's like being in the splash zone at a Gallagher concert.
Now, okay, so this is a question I have, and I don't want actual information on this, but something for you to think about. When I think of 104-year-olds doing that to themselves, I don't think of juice. I think that might be the. You would think. Oh man, I shouldn't have asked that question.
Yeah, just stop giving her water.
Yeah, stop.
Hey, I want to say this, so, you know, because
That'll solve a few of your problems. It sounds like one of his earlier jokes was about how they started taking care of her 8 years ago, and she hasn't died yet. That solves 2 problems.
But by the way, she's my Padre buddy. She's my Aztec Hoops buddy. And when you high five that hand, you just
No,
don't
you
want
don't.
any. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So.
Chris K, everybody, give it up for
nice
Chris
job.
K. Thanks, dude.
Well, I do have to bounce.
Got to bounce.
Yeah, I got to go to another show down in San Diego.
All right, where are you performing at tonight?
Madhouse and Yellow Door.
Madhouse and Yellow Door tonight. So give it up for Austin Treffitt, everybody. Thank him.
Awesome. Are you
Then-
shutting down or are you carrying on?
I'm going to
shop?
see if anybody else wants to do any more. Does anybody want to do another set? You want to do another set, man?
Another set? Philly? Oh, he's got the notes up. Get up here, dude. Thank you, dude. It was fun.
Yeah,
Good
dude.
seeing you.
This was good to see you, too. So just so you guys, are you guys local? So you guys have been here on weekends? You want to come here. Weekend shows here. They do full headliner shows. This weekend I was actually host feature for Orny Adams, who's a legend in stand-up comedy. He was doing 80 minutes every show. I was doing 15 to 20 up top. And you're going to see some of the top names that are touring around the country coming here. Does anybody know who's here this weekend? Ramses? You should know. You work here. What the hell is the matter with you? I saw Brandon Vestal. Is he not here? Brandon Vestal. He's really funny. Oh, Callan left? Okay. Oh, we got somebody. Is it John, right? John, yeah. John's going to give us another set, ladies and gentlemen. So give it up for John.
This is for you people here. So you weren't here earlier. I haven't done this in like 15 years, and I'm just going to read off things that I've written here. So bear in mind, this is like a step below Dave Chappelle. I don't want to, sully the Grand Comedy Club here. But I'm just going to read some things. So I know he had mentioned, so I was in the military. Is anyone military people here? I was in the Navy. I was a doctor in the Navy. I deployed with the Marines. We had a lot of fun. We'd go into port calls, though, and I'd get really disappointed at that. You hear all these stories about the Marines and sailors getting in trouble in port, and I was always disappointed when it was like just minor stuff. I mean, you're an American serviceman. Like, kill a hooker, for God's sakes, when you're in Singapore. For Christ, it's just, I don't know. I told you, this is bad. I haven't been,
Kill a hooker. That's a line that always gets laughs, though.
Always gets laughs. Yeah, exactly. But I do take my Navy service very seriously. I have a lot of Navy T-shirts, and if I jerk off, I will never clean up with it. So, I feel like it's the equivalent of respecting the flag. I told you this is going to be bad. I'm just trying to help out the people that are here.
So my question is then, what are you jerking off into? What don't you respect? Is this Nike socks, Vans? What's going on here? Hanes, her way?
My old Catholic school uniform. I mean, that's got so many cum stains on it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I kind of.
There's so much wrong with that sentence.
I threw a four-seamer down the middle of the plate.
No, you did. Yeah.
I
teed
did,
you up
I
there.
did,
Okay.
Yeah. I said it in my earlier set. I'm a big golfer, and people ask.
Speaking of golf.
Speaking of jerking off and Catholics, no, I'm a big golfer, and people always ask me like, hey, do you ever see the movie Caddyshack? I'm like, listen, I'm a white guy that was born in the '80s. I am Caddyshack. That's my life. That's a little inside, I know, but let's see if I have. Let's see. I have something written down about, if you spell your name Tom with an H, go fuck yourself. I mean, that's T-O-H-M. Who the fuck spells their name T-O-H-M? Unless you're the lead singer of Radiohead, I guess you're kind of cool.
I wouldn't say transitions are your thing.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. Again, this was to help out the folks that walked in.
I come all over my Catholic schoolboy uniform.
Yeah.
By the way, if your name has an
By the
H in
way-
it,
yeah,
fuck
by
you.
the way, Tom, Yeah, it's okay. Let's see. I love the term "when in Rome." Oh, so when in Rome, pickpocket tourists and rape women, because apparently Italian guys are pretty aggressive.
I am literally full Italian. What the fuck are you saying to me right now?
Have you been to Rome?
I have.
Okay, let's check your asshole. Is my wife back? No, she's.
Is your child back? He brought his child here tonight.
I did. I'm that asshole, and we're not from La Mesa either. That's the crazy part. But you did mention Rocky. So
Okay.
you guys talked about,
Let's do it.
First of all, that scene in the beach is just two grown men enjoying themselves in short
and
shorts.
enjoying each other.
Yeah. Are you against interracial relationships? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not against any of it. I'm against letting my 12-year-old son watch it.
You guys were not here for the original comedy where my dad from the Northeast might be, I'd say closetly racist, but it's an open closet. I did have an idea for Rocky Part 8. It's just called Rocky Race Riot. It's a white guy and a black guy.
That's every Rocky, I feel like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is-
that's what it should.
That's not what it should be. But you almost said that. You got to be careful. There's a camera running and you're white. You can't say that. You should.
All right. I should probably be done here. This is. Let me see if I have anything else.
I appreciate you coming up here with unfinished stuff. You guys don't know how hard it is to come up here at all, let alone with unfinished stuff. You got anything else, or are we giving you a hand?
Let's see. Okay.
Closer.
My wife loves to watch 90 Day Fiance. Anyone like that show, 90 Day Fiance? Okay, me neither. But she watches it, and I do it because I'm a good husband. There was a girl on the show from another country. I don't remember which one. It doesn't really matter. Her name was Symphony with a C. And when I see things like that, I kind of understand 9/11. So that's it.
Give it up for Don, everybody. Oh, that was good stuff, huh? You guys got any questions, any feedback? What are you thinking? I
literally did not prepare any of that.
No, and it showed, but we loved it. No. Oh, well, yeah, no. So just so you guys know, if you are local and you want to, we're trying on Thursdays to get this going. This is week 3. So obviously a slow burn. But yeah, the whole point is we watch the football game, laugh about it, talk about comedy, and then at halftime we bring up people and we try to do it. The more people that come, the more we'll get up and tell jokes. But in the meantime, I urge you, Grand Comedy Club is just a fantastic place. The headliners here are grade A, and so make your way out here on weekends. For sure. I try to come out and feature here once every 3 or 4 months or something. And other than that, Ramses, I don't know if we have, are there anybody watching online anymore? We got 3 people. They stuck it out. Oh, man. My wife is FaceTiming me. That's real professional. Let me just, here, let's get her on here. Hey, honey, do you have any jokes for I'm on stage doing the Now's your time, honey. You got a tight 3?
Put me on a screen, like the biggest screen.
This is the biggest screen you got, honey. You just got to start telling jokes now. You're losing them.
Hey, you guys, Persian people are the best.
What is your somebody wanted to know of mine? They want to know your favorite joke of mine and your least favorite joke of mine.
Oh, you're not joking, are you?
No, there's people watching you right now and wanting to hear from you.
My favorite joke is the Dougie jokes.
Well, they need to hear the joke. They don't know what that means.
You want me to tell them your joke?
Yeah, I want to hear your version of a joke about Dougie is my Great Dane. So I want to hear your version of a joke about my Great Dane.
Okay, so we have a Great Dane, and I never knew how big the poops are gonna be. Oh my gosh, that was the punchline.
She starts with the punchline. Let's see where she goes from here.
No, that was it. That was the joke. See, I was being creative with your joke.
Honey, I'm going to give you a call right back. You were the headliner tonight because we're about wrapping up.
There you go. Love you. Thank you,
All right, sweetie. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out tonight to Grand Comedy Club. I'm apparently going to be like the guest host here more often than he called me last night at like 11 p.m. and was like, what are you doing tomorrow night? And I was like, I guess I'll come out. So I'll try to come out here more often, but I'll talk to you guys afterwards and give you guys information about how to grab shows that are like, full shows here. And other than that, thank you, open micers, for coming out. I really appreciate the work. Give everybody a hand. My name is Louis Centani. Ramses, play some outro music and let's finish it off.